internets. I hope you can hear us this week. Luckily, Merc figured out what the fuck I was doing wrong last week, so hopefully that won't be a problem again ever. But feel free to tell us in chat if you can't hear us. So, cheers. We have had some, let's say, sudden cast changes this week, so I figured, let's just do another Demon Hunters one-shot. Below me, you'll see is Josh. He is our new friend, and new regular player.
Hello.
Still a bit low, but I can hear you. Okay.
I can bring it up.
I don't. The thing is that I don't think it's just you. It might be all of us because we were all having this problem last time.
Okay, let me take a look.
We all sound to be at about the same level to me, so.
Okay, in that case, I should mess with my individual levels. So.
Yeah. Essentially. Don't worry, it's not you. It's all of us.
No, but if it's just me, I can fix it, and no one else has to worry.
Well, no. I'm simply saying it's all of us on the Twitch channel, which is in fact just you. Because you're the one streaming to your channel. Okay. So it's just your audio.
I'm going to turn up the desktop audio on the mixer a bit.
Technically.
And
that'll
see if that
probably
helps.
Do it.
Have Fadir has to turn up his speakers to about 75% to hear anything. Then let me turn up my desktop audio and see if that helps. But so let's start with introductions of peoples and players. Well, Demon Hunters Takes Manhattan. Demon Hunters is the Zombie Orpheus Entertainment published game, or Dead Gentleman Productions published game.
It's technically DG, but...
Okay, Dead Gentleman's. It is a very, very fun system. It is a system called Fate Core, which is an interesting mix of Fate and Cortex.
Fate Core, yes.
And the setting is, the description I get the most mileage out of is, it's like the World of Darkness, only it's funny on purpose. So there are entities that go bump in the night, and the Demon Hunters, or the Brotherhood of the Celestial Torch, bump back to varying degrees of success. Some of their members are... What?
We do it here in the real world, as it were, ish, kind of.
Merc, I'm gonna have a really hard time not talking over you when I can't see your mouth moving.
Oh no!
I'm not saying this isn't fun, but
it's Faith Core and Demon Hunters are set here in the real world as opposed to any kind of, fantastic setting or whatever. Except everything is true.
Yeah, so Demon Hunters takes place in a version of our own Earth in which all of the stories are true. So God created the world in 7 days, and also another creator god ripped open the belly of a dragon and the Earth popped out, and all of the creation myths, all of the folklore, all of the urban legends are true, and somebody's gotta clean that shit up, and it's these guys.
That honor falls to us.
Woo-hoo.
And Elvis is hanging out in a McDonald's somewhere?
Probably.
The only canon hardline no, according to the people who wrote the system, is no aliens. Aliens are not real. But multiverse. But on the other hand, it's also confirmed a multiverse by that same writer. So interdimensional aliens are a thing. But
horrors from beyond.
Horrors from beyond, which may or may not have something to do with today. We'll see.
Shit.
This is the wonderful shiny book that I got at ZoeCon. And what this book has is really fun tables that help you roll up an adventure from scratch if you have run out of ideas. Which I have done this afternoon. It is called 5 Minutes to Mayhem, but I'm slow, so it took me about a half hour. The rolling took 10 minutes. Then it's like, oh wait, I need to write NPCs. Whoops. So for that reason, we will say that in New York City, things used to be relatively quiet because most people and entities just come to NYC to just hang out and not get caught by whatever they're running away from. And normies and supernats, like, everyone's kind of just chill. Then the city did something stupid in 2008, opening a Hellmouth in Washington Square Park. And since in the last 10 years or so, everything's been steadily heating up, and the main chapter in town is thoroughly understaffed, overworked, and underpaid. So they've opened a program they call Vigilante Tourism, where they invite demon hunters from all over the world to come to New York City, and we can help get you show tickets if you help us hunt some evil while you're here. Show
Oh yeah,
tickets,
all
restaurant
the
reservations. Yeah, Merc, I can't tell. Oh dear.
I will hold up a finger when I'm trying to talk. How's that?
Okay, that might help.
So yes, all the quid pro quo is here.
Yes. Today our vigilante tourists are starting with the college student to my we're on Zoom, I don't know. The college student to where I'm pointing.
It looks like you're pointing to me from there, so I don't know.
Well,
Oh, that's
you're
just
looking
on your
Zoom.
screen.
Yay, Zoom.
Zoom is weird, but Hi, I'm Dracus. I'm playing Shay Blakely this evening. They're a unsupervised occultist, college-age necromancer with a sword. It's a good time.
They're on the fencing team.
That's the excuse that I use whenever I travel around town with a sword. No one ever questions it.
I'm small and nerdy. Clearly, I am on the fencing team. Leading us next to Rien, our person of mystery.
Yes, I am Rien. I used to be a government agent. Well, I used to be a government agent, and I went into service for myself. And then I had an encounter with Crawling Chaos LLC. And my eyes were open to the beyond, and I decided that shit ain't gonna fly. So I joined the Brotherhood, and I am a master of disguise. All my files on every file on me in every government database, every secret organization, whatever, is so redacted, nobody knows what I look like.
All right, and on my screen, you are below me, Josh/Anna Ang. Anna Ang is one of the stock characters from the various Demon Hunters publications. And she is quite fun. So, Josh, who is you?
Sure. I'm playing Anna. She is also a college student. But she had a cult try to sacrifice her and absorbed all of power they were trying to summon and much more. And it's only barely under control. And she has black tattoo-like things all over her body because she absorbed an entire library of spellbooks.
Yes, I can see why librarian GM Miss Priscilla would be very fond of that character.
Yeah.
One of her stunts is learning is fun. It's like, yay.
Sometimes you do the reading and sometimes you are the reading.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And for system, this is what a character sheet looks like, although it's probably backwards because it's Zoom, and I don't know how to fix that yet. It's a lot like White Wolf in that you roll 2 dice for 2 different stats. Although in this case, instead of getting dots, it tells you the better your stat is, the bigger the die is, or the more sides, the higher the number of the dice. No, how do I? The higher. I can't even. Guys, it's been a week.
The better the stat, the bigger the die.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Anywho, and then our players have a few of what's called faith dice, which are additional d6s they can add to their roll based on the aspects on their character sheet, or advantages they have built with die rolls. And as GM or Demon Master, my personal favorite is the Demon Dice, which you can roll up to 3 on it. While Faith Dice are a limited resource, Demon Dice are unlimited. And you can just, keep adding up to 3 to your roll before the roll, after the roll, whenever you want. It is wonderful. And never mind that I then add those dice to my pool as GM, because it's fine. Everything's fine.
You can also add them after other people have rolled if you're feeling really, if the DM is feeling, benevolent like that. But that's a house rule thing.
Yeah. This is a nice system for developing your own style of gameplay and house rules.
So easy to break, and yet it remains balanced.
Yes, this system was designed to make it fun to fail. And while there is not the strongest leveling up system for long-term character play, I say so much. I need to stop.
Well, you get bigger dice.
Yeah, you slowly get bigger dice, but there comes a point where it's like, yeah, this character's just too OP to play anymore. On the other hand, over the course of one, module or adventure, it can quickly go from a level 1 adventure to a level 20 adventure and then back again.
Yep. And if you're unlucky, major conditions, severe conditions hang around between sessions if you're playing consecutive sessions.
But me, Merc, and Drac met running one-shots of this system at Gen Con and other conventions for Zoe. So let's just keep running one-shot modules. And if all goes according to what I hope, I will not be the only person running these games on this channel. Looking at my fellow Demon Hunter GMs. I'll get to play, and all I'll have to do is run the stream and play. Oh my God.
It can be done.
Fadir, Purple Ninja. We do not currently have a mechanic for bringing in the Purple Ninja, but maybe someday. Let's just get us to affiliate first. We'll get the Purple Ninja app. Actually, this universe's version of Granny is probably building that app as we speak. Anyway, for those of you who are new, y'all are not from the same chapter of Demon Hunters usually, but you all have arrived at the Demon Hunters office above the closed dress barn in Rego Park, Queens. It was closed. We are just saying, the COVID apocalypse hasn't happened. It's like 2019. Everything's fine. That dress barn is still closed, though. It's like,
Did you expect it to open up again magically?
I don't.
Not that great.
Business before the COVID apocalypse started. So yeah, and some of you have been here before, some of you haven't. You walk through a cheap wooden door with this symbol carved into it, though not gold leafed. And as you walk through, all 3 of you are Brotherhood agents, so none of you burst into flame. Yay!
Yay for us.
And sitting across the room from the door at her desk is Fran, with her eye patch and her cranky expression and her computers. She is, well, in other cities, an Omega will typically be informational dispatch, but this is New York City, and Theta 5 does things differently. So she is currently a member of Theta 5. And you're, I believe, Anna Ang, what is her, honestly, your character's typical Demon Hunters chapter will not matter in this module. For starters, all 3 of you have the additional team aspect, vigilante tourism. that will allow you to spend extra faith dice on rolls if you can justify it to the GM. And that's one of the big things is you can effectively you can effectively roll for any challenge using any combination of dice. You just have to justify it to the GM. And that's what makes this fun. So yeah.
Sell it. That's what you gotta do, sell it.
Sell it to me. Sell it. Yes. Fadior. I was here last. Oh wait. Oh, there's a whole. Wow, there's a whole conversation happening in chat.
Indeed.
Hey, thanks for coming, Fadior. So yes. You know, it's a very plain, boring looking office, except that, you know, there's a big scary lady sitting behind her desk with an eye patch. I will just say, Anna, you haven't been to New York before, but you know, you're on spring break. You know, you'll come to New York, you'll slay some demons, you'll see Hamilton, it'll be fun.
Sure.
Spring break 2019, you know. Because spring break 2020 went rather badly for everyone involved.
And I'm seeing
Break 2020 didn't happen.
Yeah. Got interrupted by the COVID apocalypse.
Spring break 2020, spring broke.
Thank you, Merc.
Thank you.
This is why Merc's my fave.
So I'm curious,
walk in-
what does Rienne look like right now? Because obviously no one knows what they really look like.
Right now, Rienne looks like a demon hunter.
Okay.
A very generic one, in fact.
think,
As soon as you look away, you
opposition.
forget their face.
Missionary opposition. Have you ever seen it?
Missionary opposition. Oh yes. I guess look up the Dead Gentleman's YouTube channel where they have lots of fun short films and one long college film, a few long college films set in this universe, and it was very, very silly.
They're a
Anyway,
good time though.
Actually, can you flip away from me for a moment because I need to handle food things, and then I'll be right back.
can you just turn off your camera on Zoom?
Absolutely.
Yes. All right. So, just
An excellent profile pic.
we're not laughing at you, Josh. We're laughing with whoever made this your profile pic. It might be you. It might be someone else.
I actually like to get the appropriateness of like, I'm turning my camera off. Eyes are shut now.
Sleepy.
I was just gonna say, as I walk into this office, I nod to Rienne and Anna and say, "Hey, Fran," and go straight for the coffee because this is my habit when I enter this office.
You know, and it's pretty good coffee. The coffee is better at night when Granny's on dispatch. But Granny is the oldest cyber goth you've ever seen, so cyber goth.
She better be able to make a good ass cup of coffee.
Yeah. She may or may not have invented hacker grade coffee. We're not sure.
Hacker grade.
But yeah, and there's also
Hacker
the
grade.
standard, spread of bagels and bagel fixings because nothing, pizza is a spectrum, but bagels are only good from New York City. Says the sad GM who has celiac disease and can't eat good bagels ever again.
F.
F for my bagel life. So, pizza, pocket, bagels. And I thought the braces years were bad. Anywho, so yeah, Fran's just at her desk. She's like, alright, thank you all for coming out. So, we've already got a job for you if you want it. It's basically a information finding session. We've got some mystics on it. Data collectors looking for anything suspect in the situation. They haven't found it, so it's possible this might just be like a mundane problem, but it is a very strange problem.
See, you say that every time I'm in here, and it never ends up being a mundane problem.
Well, I mean, how much do you want those show tickets?
That is true. So what's up?
Alright, so, y'all ever heard of Bellevue Hospital?
Can't say I have.
Okay. It's got a weird reputation in New York City for its past as an asylum, but currently it's a full service hospital. They specialize in, uh, they specialize in taking care of everybody, regardless of if they have health insurance or what, etc. That it's a good place. It's a little creepy sometimes. In the last week, well, they've according to their website, they've got about 844 beds. 500 of them are currently holding coma patients, which is a little bit unusual, or a lot of bit unusual.
Sounds like it.
Excuse me.
So, and
Rian really looks like a generic Brotherhood agent. There we go. Good enough. Again, I'm not
There you
good.
go.
what's funny is how much it looks to me like an anatomical heart.
You showed me the logo briefly, and then I couldn't figure it again.
You have these. You know what the logo looks like.
Oh,
We
Okay.
Maybe
went through this game.
Maybe an anatomical three of hearts.
I am not good
Or three of
at
swords.
drawing.
Oh
But-
yeah, anatomical three of swords.
Whatever. It's a Brotherhood logo, kind of one drawn by someone who doesn't draw very much. So I look like a generic Brotherhood agent.
Anywho, and Fran kind of puts a newspaper on her desk for all you to look at. So, Bellevue Hospital. About more than half their patients are in comas. Whether or not they should, they were in a situation where they should have been in a coma in the first place. So
And you think there might be a mundane explanation for this?
yeah, there could be. I mean, we've put
Weirder shit has happened.
Gas leak?
they've ruled out.
It's always the excuse, isn't it?
They've ruled out. They brought in a whole. I mean, this has only happened within the last week, but we're in the middle of New York fucking city, so there's plenty of experts, domestic. Yes, Rian.
So question. So the people who are in comas were admitted for something else, and only was after they were in the hospital for a while they are now in comas.
Yeah, that's the general gist of it, and this has all
All
gone
right.
down in the last week. So yeah, they've brought in experts. They've ruled out environmental factors. Right now, they're currently investigating, bacterial, viral things like that. But environment has been, no radiation, and we've had dealings with, Mwahaha and other mad scientists, and we've checked those back channels already. So this is basically just us sending, boots on the ground just to investigate. So
Seems fair to me.
Right. Have you checked the dream realms in the cafeteria?
the dream realms in the cafeteria?
And
Well, they've been checking on the food because that's, part of environmental. And they claim to not have found, according to the news, they haven't found anything yet. We do not currently have an agent working in Bellevue Hospital, so we don't have an in on this as of now. Until y'all go in. So.
Do we have covers, or should we?
Who? And she holds up her phone. Who wants the Cipher app? Because I do not have a spare cipher to send with you. So, for those of you who
I
are
think
new to
I
the-
still have that downloaded from last time.
All right.
I can also take a Cipher app.
What was that, Rian?
I can also take a Cipher app.
All right. Anyone can download it who wants it. I will send Shay, if you've already got it. I can send you the update.
All right.
Basically, Anna, out of character voice. So ciphers are basically robots that become your hacker expert if you don't already have one. They're also, robots. So full spectrum scanning and all that fun stuff. But for some strange reason, no one ever wants to play them in game, except for the giant kangaroo one. I do love that one. I do love Bruce. Anyway, Bruce.
Bruce.
I, for one, am partial to the Fraggin' Wagon,
Oh, the Dragon Wagon
but it is not practical in a lot of these games.
Yeah, when I run Demon Hunters Take Manhattan set modules at cons, the only pre-gen character I don't allow is the Fraggin' Wagon, because it's New York fucking City, like, it just won't work.
Interestingly, in my games for Gen Con, the only pre-gen character from the tent that I do allow is the Braggin' Wagon.
Please run an Omicron game on this channel someday. Like, you don't
Sure,
have
why
to do
not?
it right now or soon, but just someday. Please.
So is
Okay.
the Fraggin' Wagon the car?
Yes.
There's also
Yes.
a cipher. Okay.
It's
The
a
van.
giant semi-sentient van.
Often played by Matt Vansel. Because sometimes life is good.
I have never managed to find any of the videos where Matt Vansel plays the Fraggin' Wagon.
Oh, remind me on the Discord. I've compiled a whole YouTube playlist that I should probably just link to our YouTube channel. Anyway, yeah. What the fuck was I saying? So yeah, so yeah, I don't, and New York City doesn't have any spare ciphers to just throw at visiting teams because they have no monies. It is an expensive city to be a demon hunter in, and they can't even get their own organization to cut through enough red tape to give them extra high-ranking teams. Hence, y'all have been invited to take in a show and fight some evils. Woohoo.
Well, and it's a great opportunity for those of us who are a little lower ranked to just rub elbows with people who are higher ranked and get opportunities, perhaps.
Wait, who are the higher ranked people?
Theta 5. One of them is sitting right in front of you.
Oh, that one.
Oh, yes.
Or perhaps last time when Shay got to work with people from Alpha fucking 1, which was pretty cool.
Even though it was the big dumb werewolf, but still.
They're still from the Alpha team.
Chat, I will put up a link to the Demon Hunters training video in which they explain who Alpha 1 is and the general pyramid. But yeah, most of New York City used to have just Theta 5 and like a couple Omega teams. Now they have Theta 5 and half a dozen Omega teams on a light week. Meanwhile, there's also a high turnover rate in demon hunting. So a lot of people start out as Omegas and work their way up as people die out of the higher ranking teams.
Usually horribly.
Often horribly. Y'all signed a waiver.
Yep. On the other hand, if we live through this, we get great retirement benefits package.
Oh yes. And when you die, you automatically get to go to heaven. Supposedly. Or
Whichever
Has anyone
one's
verified
your
that?
Well, St. Peter has been verifying it, but no one who's actually gone there? Or, well, basically just St. Peter. Watch the training video. It's
We're choosing to trust him.
I trust him.
Anyhow, so you want it? You want in on this mission?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Naturally,
Sure,
man.
sounds like fun.
So if you find confirmation using, not normal means that it's just like a normal thing, just wire it back to me and I can filter that information through the proper channels. I mean, unless you happen to find us an asset at Bellevue. Either is fine. We need all the help we can get in this town, so we don't mind making new friends.
Fair enough, man.
Understood.
Sure.
Alright, so, and she, puts out the standard, like, fans out, 3 unlimited Metro cards. For 3 1-week unlimited Metro cards. Because y'all are vigilante tourists. Yeah, and each one of these Metro cards has a chip in it that activates the warehouse doors. We do not have one that we are aware of at Bellevue. So and she points across the office to a door that is on an outside-facing wall. She's like, so that's our warehouse door. If you want to gear up before you go, we got you. Also, take any of the weapons, that are just out, And she looks around the room, and as your eyes follow hers, those of you who have not been here before notice that there are weapons everywhere once you look closely enough. There's an umbrella stand with umbrellas and katanas. There are guns taped to the insides of lampshades. You're pretty sure that's a machine gun wrapped up in a curtain against the window. There are some more guns kind of taped to the underside of the cabinets in the kitchenette where the coffee is.
I'm gonna go to the warehouse door and just load myself up with spy gear.
Okay.
Mini grapnels.
Don't let the door close on you because of the interference from the Hellmouth. If a warehouse door closes on you, we can't guarantee it'll open back up to the same place you left.
Fair enough. So I've got super spy gear, mini cameras and, poison dart rings and stun watches and grenade light, little grenade lighters.
Okay, do you want to roll to build an advantage?
Yes, I would. I like to do some clever covert ops. Because I'm good at covert ops.
Okay.
And I'm trying to build spy gear.
Well, this is spy gear. If you also want to mount up on weapons, that will be an additional combat and tactics roll. So let's start with. Can
I just do clever research and development to get just high tech stuff?
Okay. I will allow that.
Okay. Both of them under one. Okay, so that is a 15.
Okay, so that is 2 invokes on... what did you want to call this advantage?
Super spy gear.
So that is... So basically 2 free invokes means effectively 2 free faith dice. Although you can only use 1 per roll.
Yes.
Per aspect or advantage. Unless the GM is feeling charitable.
Or, it's the end of the night, we're all tired. Let's just finish this out with a bang.
Yeah. Can y'all just take down the giant robot already? I'm tired.
That was fun.
Yeah, New York City, I don't need to dig that deeply for lore here. And I like my deep lore, and New York City has deep lore in every neighborhood. It's amazing. I'm sorry, Josh, or Anna, you were saying?
Sure. I'm going to go over to where there's an office plant, possibly more than one, and start picking out bits to build packets of reagents.
I'm completely blanking on what reagents are. I'm sorry. Please
things
explain.
for magic spells and chemical things.
Correct.
Yeah. Oh, so Josh, I may not have explained.
I have a go-to shelf in the warehouse for those.
Yeah, so the warehouse doesn't really store magical items, but any mundane item, even if it's technically a spell component, you can find at the warehouse.
That's what I'm going picking up.
But there's probably also some in the plants growing that it's like, oh, it's that plant. It's like, no, this is a magical herb that's been charged in the full moon. I can tell. But so Anna, do you also want to roll to build an advantage?
Sure, and I believe that would be clever and mystic arts.
Yes. You want at least a 10?
I think I would like to do this as well.
How about a
for
20?
A similar reason.
So Anna Ang rolled a 20, which due to the fact that I set a metaverse game in this system, is a physics be damned. So Anna, you start kind of like, oh, this is a catnip, and this is an artemisia, and this is a wormwood tree, and this is this is nice. you basically tug on a leaf on one of them, and like in this kind of big decorative square pot, a trapdoor kind of opens, and just all of this like little herbs and little dime bags just tumbles out, and crystals, and you have found someone's secret, not so secret stash.
Oh, my secret stash now.
Your secret stash now.
Hey, what the hell?
So that would be. So what do you want to call this aspect with 3 free invokes on it?
All the magical supplies.
All the magical supplies.
All the magical supplies. Can I create one more advantage by raiding from the warehouse?
1 second. I want to ask Shay. Shay, what is there anything you want to build, or do you want to mooch off of Anna?
I think I want to build my own for the moment because we practice very different types of magic, I think. And necromancy bullshit is not all herbs.
Touch my bones!
I may need to search the warehouse for some bones.
Look at the bones! Go for it. What are you rolling?
Clever mystic arts.
Okay.
And I rolled a 15.
Okay, so
Not a physics be damned, but a pretty damn good roll.
yep, that's a succeed with style. So, what are you calling your aspect?
I like necromancy's not all herbs.
Touch my bones! No, I said that, but
And we do certainly have blood in common, but I can bring my own.
I prefer not to use my own blood if I can manage it.
I mean, there's so much readily available in other people,
Yeah. Of course, my blood's always there, but
as a fallback kind of
I've
point.
left this flesh bag and returned to it so many times, I'm really not sure the cells are in good shape anymore.
You need to start taking supplements and essential oils.
Do not take essential oils.
No.
I would like to try and create one more advantage separate from my other one. Using clever covert ops, I'd like to put together a disguise kit for everybody else, because I'm already good at this. But
Okay. Roll.
because they can't get us in at the hospital.
Well, I mean, yeah, like, Fran's like, so do you want me to set you up with IDs or something, or what do you
And-
need? Okay, so you got 1 free invoke on a disguise kit with a 10.
Yep.
All
Rolling
right.
10s. Holy shit.
Fran is offering her own interesting skill set to help. What is her interesting skill set? Luckily, she has a pretty good R&D. Ah, okay. Okay, Fran has a stunt called Google Master. Because I spend all day at the computer, I get a +2 when I quickly create an advantage or overcome an obstacle to do with finding information online. Might work. Is there anything you would like Fran to do, as she is there and not doing anything else at the moment, and is like, you need anything?
Floor plans of the hospital, we have them. If we can get them.
Find someone we can be related to so that we can say to give us access to the building.
Yeah, setting up identities in advance would probably be a good idea. It'll make things go more smoothly when we get there anyway.
Alright. So now I roll. And she is technically a demon hunter, so she does get her own faith dice. She will use the aspect Iota ask you a few questions.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Rianne can pick up immediately that this lady she's scary, but she's not Alpha 1 scary. She's Iota scary. Given your own skill set, you might have been you might yourself be an Iota member. They are the internal affairs Department of the Brotherhood.
Shh.
They watch
Tears
the
in the dream.
Watchers. It's scary. And she will
Shh, don't give it away.
Iota ask you a few questions. And R&D. I need more dice. So I keep sending mine to dice jail. I'll add a faith dice. And I'll add one of these. Interesting. Okay, friend, you get a faith dice back because you rolled a 1. Okay. So, Josh, or Anna, if you ever roll a 1 on your approach or your discipline die, you can get a free faith die, and that's the only time, and you can either save that faith die for later, or use it immediately to add to your roll, which might suck if you rolled 1 or more 1s. So that's the only time you can declare adding faith dice to a roll after you roll it.
Right.
Like Fran just did. So...
Is there a thing about keeping faith dice if they roll certain things?
Oh yeah, if you roll a 1 on a faith dice, you get to keep it.
Right.
And that includes any kind of faith dice, like if one's from your pool or one's off a free invoke.
Yeah,
Those
I
all
allow
hang
that.
around.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that's a rule or a house rule, to be honest, but yes.
I mean, it's how I've always played it and how I've always seen everybody else play it, so I'm going to assume it's some kind of rule.
Been so long since I read the rule book, I have no knowledge of
I don't remember an
the
exception for free
legality of
invokes.
this.
Yeah.
Okay, so with her extra faith die that she just rolled to add to this roll, Fran got a 22.
Damn.
So...
I like having Fran on our side.
Fran's... Oh, wait, 24. Because her +2, because this is an information-based thingy. Yeah, Fran is scary on so many levels, but so helpful. Because she wants her city to not burn down.
Yeah,
From the inside.
we happen to be preventing the city from burning down.
Team, so she is creating a package of information of the building and information on alternate selves or things that connect you to people in the hospital. What do you want to call this advantage?
A hospital field advantage? Like home field advantage, but it's a hospital? Okay. It was a bit of a stretch for a joke.
Yeah, we could do better.
Yeah.
I know my players. We could do better than that.
Sane
Okay.
Asylum?
What?
Sane Asylum?
No. Well, I mean, it is Bellevue, but...
All the marbles?
Mm,
Nope.
amazing? Maze Inc? No. Dang, there's so much
These-
hospital.
These are the visitors you're looking for.
Perfect. Wonderful.
I was actually thinking along the same lines there.
There's so many hospital jokes we could be making, and all of us are blanking on all of them.
I haven't had enough coffee yet for wordplay.
Yeah.
I did, in fact,
You know, if I added a demon
not
dice
have
to
coffee
Fran's
this morning.
If I added
and
a
then I
demon dice
passed
to
out.
Fran's pool, she could get to a 25, and then that's 4 free invokes.
Yes, but it's also a possibility for a 1 on a demon die. But it's up to you because you're the
That's
one.
true. Oh
manning.
yes, Anna, make sure to tell me if you ever roll a 1 on a demon dice.
Okay.
Bad shit happens.
Immediate consequences as opposed to long-term consequences, which also still happen, but there are immediate consequences too.
Okay, these are the visitors you're looking for times 3. So yeah, she, I found a name generator before. So I don't have to keep using my precious brain spoons. Quick name. Okay, you are. You are presumably going to meet your friend and or relative, Danielle Lister.
Is Danielle Glister in a coma? For
Yes,
instance,
she is
possibly?
currently in a coma. She went in for some kind of elective foot surgery and then just didn't wake up. She's not dead. She's still alive, but she's definitely, like, not waking up. And it's, yeah, just looking at Fran can there we go.
This identity gag is the best.
So yeah, that's happening. Yeah. So just looking at Fran can easily break into her medical records and look at them, and it's basically like she's not like they have to feed her intravenously basically. But she's not on a respirator. She's breathing fine. It's just like she's asleep and won't wake up, and her brain activity is really odd. It's just kind of like there's something about the just the brainwave pattern being a bit weird.
Brain activity's really odd.
Yeah.
What kind of odd?
It says something called alpha wave intrusion.
That's what I thought. Dreams.
Well, more active dreams. It talks. It's like this is really weird to see in a coma patient. It makes no sense.
Is this where I summoned the Cthulhu Flux card, Dreams and Nightmares?
Wait until you get to the hospital. I'm not
Oh,
saying
bloody
no,
hell.
but you know, we'll see. I mean, I did roll this up in 10 minutes, so it's a little flexible. Anywho,
Hello. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, Cthulhu. Oh, Cthulhu Fatagan. What a wonderful phrase.
Am I going to have reason to Cthulhu chant this evening?
Cthulhu Fatagan. Madness.
It's the end of
the
days.
end of days. Cthulhu Fatagan. Cthulhu Fatagan. Anyway. Yeah, so is there anything else you would all like to do to prepare for your trip to Bellevue Hospital in Kips Bay?
Nope.
All right.
I have my necromancy shit and my sword. I'm prepared for anything.
I have my super spy shit.
And Fran can easily furnish you with duffel bags to carry your contraband, and she's just like, look, just don't give the police a reason to search you. We have a tenuous relationship with them.
All my spy gear fits perfectly inside my suit. Just saying.
All right. sounds good. Let's do this.
Parallel universe pockets.
Trench coat physics. Oh, is
Indeed.
Is Rian wearing a suit or a trench coat?
A suit. Currently.
So he's got Matrix, Men in Black physics. Oh no, just Men in Black physics for the suits rather than the trench coat.
More like Bond, but yeah, or Kingsman, but yes.
I still haven't seen Kingsman. I need to do that.
It's good.
Anywho,
He's currently he because he is Daniel Lister's uncle.
So yeah, she went in to get like a bunion removed from her foot, and she just didn't wake up. Like, I'm not, like, it's an outpatient procedure. She wasn't even really under anesthesia. It was just localized. And then she just took a nap after and didn't wake up. Or has not yet woken up.
Weird shit.
So, yes.
Alright.
So, yeah,
I assume if Rian is the uncle, we're cousins of some sort.
Oh, cousin sounds great.
Cousins is so universal and general, it's perfect.
Cousins, totally cousins.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Sure. I don't know about you, but I'm not particularly good at lying, but I can pretend to be someone's cousin.
Everyone's cousins if you think about it. Or if you pretend.
Alrighty, so let's be on our way.
You got metro cards? We'll travel. Okay, so it is not a weird or difficult trip on the subway, because I do not have to run you through practice rolls,
Yeah.
which I sometimes do with the subway because, well, it's convenient.
We appreciate you for not doing this currently.
I have lost my mints. Okay, fine. I'm not. I could just. Okay. Do any of y'all have a game plan? So you have a whole subway ride to talk about it. If anyone wants to plan anything.
So my thinking is it's probably some kind of dream thing. I mean, maybe it's not, but if we can go in there, open up, a scry once we're next to one of the patients, maybe we'll get some information.
I'm wondering if all of the patients who are out went in for surgery, even minor surgery, or whether they just came in for general, like not even outpatient, like the person you're going to visit, it had an outpatient procedure, but it was still some kind of surgery. I have to wonder if they were all kinds of surgeries or if they went in for something like a sniffle.
I think I want to see if the phone cipher can access records enough of these people to find any similarity along those lines.
True. I would also like
who's in the comas and what were they initially going there for.
When she is done, I would also like to use one or something, but I'll wait until she is done.
Yeah, I suppose you've got a point, because none of the doctors have gone into a coma. It's only people who had surgery or some kind of procedure.
Presumably.
As far as we know.
And if we can find a pattern, it'll set us at least a little bit more on track for finding a cause, I suppose. So I'm going to do a clever research and development roll for this cipher.
Okay, let me bring up some cipher stats. Actually, let's just say, because I forgot to do that. Let's just say you get a bonus to so, what were you rolling?
Clever R&D.
Okay, we'll say that the hacker app gives you a +2 to that.
Okay. That will be an 11.
Okay. So you are having the cipher app hack into the hospital's computer database?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So with an 11, it's finding a lot of patient records, but no, it's really not finding a pattern, except it started, about a week ago, so this would be day 7 of when people started falling asleep and not waking up again. That's what you get with an 11. I mean, if you wanted to add to this roll...
So I seem to remember that there is one more exception we hadn't discussed about adding things to after a roll, which is that if you're helping somebody else...
well, that has to be declared before the roll.
Oh, does it have to be declared before? I thought that was an exception. Okay.
So, or at least that's how we've been running it.
Yep. Let's go with how we've been running it.
I am up for other rules, debates, clarifications in the Discord after. That's fine. But yeah. So usually it's if the helper builds an advantage, and then the person doing the overcome obstacle uses those extra dice. Okay. So yeah, it really can't find any patterns, except this started a week ago.
Okay.
But yeah, there doesn't seem like people in the ER, people with minor injuries, people with major injuries, like minor surgeries, major surgeries, like, and then there are people
that in itself is some information.
And then, it's not everyone in the hospital, so there are people who've had major surgery and are so far fine.
I would like to try and specifically hack not hospital patient records, but hospital doctor records. I would like to see who has been treating these patients.
Okay.
And I would like to do this quickly, research and development, with my little Cypher app.
We'll say the Cypher app can work on the subway while it's underground.
It's
No
a
tears, no
Cypher.
dreams.
Because usually cell phones don't work on the subway, but this is a Cypher app, and Granny built it. So there.
Okay.
It can defy some rules and logic.
So that is 17.
Oh, nice. Okay. So this was an overcome an obstacle, but do you want to add to these are the visitors you're looking for advantage with one more free invoke? Since that is succeed with style.
Sure, I'll put another free invoke on there, but I really want the information. Are there any commonalities between the doctor serving the patients and the people who are falling asleep?
Well, because these patients have come from all different departments of the hospital, including the emergency room, like they've been treated by, like, you would suspect there isn't a doctor who hasn't come across one of these patients in that hospital thus far. However, they do have a department cited called the Department of Sleep Medicine and Study, headed by a Dr. Ira Wood. And he's been called in basically on he or someone from his department has been called in on every one of these cases. It doesn't seem it's basically it sounds like him and two doctors and then two not interns. What is the residents?
Residents, yes.
So it's not a huge team, especially for a city hospital, but so it sounds like they've been consulting and are trying to do their own data, but even, hacking into their own system, they're kind of stymied. So it also sees, that they have been bringing in like infectious disease experts and bacterial infection. Well, that is infectious disease. Infectious disease experts are currently the big, like, this is where we're focusing our attention because we couldn't find any environmental problems.
Fair enough. So I share this information with my teammates.
Sure. I'm going, as long as we're doing a little research on the way, I'm going to pull out a notebook and start writing down names people are pulling out of patients and doctors and see if I can do a little divination ritual to get a sense of what the connection between these might be.
Okay. I would allow
Do you want me to help you set that up?
Sure.
I do a little divination. 2 spellcasters are better than 1.
Okay.
Among other things, maybe you can help me make sure I don't blow up.
Another thing, though, what you can do is you can build an advantage. Shay, you can build an advantage, or you can make your own occult or mystic arts roll, and then however many successes you get, Anna gets plus that to her roll.
Okay, I will create an advantage because I have the stunt sure I'll help, and I lend a hand and I get a +2 to create an advantage. So I will do clever mystic arts for that, and I could roll pretty well. It's a 16.
Okay, that's a
But I have the
16.
+2, so it's an 18.
Oh, okay. So that's 2 free invokes, and what do you want to call this? Study buddy.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sure. So I will take those 2 3 invokes.
All right. This was specific. I mean, usually you're only allowed to use one at a time. But yeah, in this case, I'll let you use both. That's fine.
Okay.
Because that was kind of the point of the whole thing.
That's what I was thinking.
Also, in general, you are allowed to use advantages built by your teammates in general. Just make sure you ask first if they didn't say that overtly.
Right.
So, okay. So you are using 2 invokes on that, on Study Buddy.
Plus my regular stuff. I'm also going to get a +2 because learning is fun. I am certainly drawing upon dark wisdom that no human being should possess.
Learning is fun.
Indeed.
Because knowledge is unlimited cosmic power, I gain +2 and I cleverly create advantages by drawing upon dark wisdom that no human being should possess.
So let's see. However, the dice were not entirely with me here. So we do have a 1. So I believe that gets me a faith die.
On which dice?
A 1 on the D10.
Okay, so yeah, you take another faith dice. You can either roll that now or save it for later.
Let's see how it works if I just save it for later. So that's going to be actually let me take a look at the numbers. Yeah, it's unlikely to roll. So that's a 10.
Okay, so that's still a success. So you were writing down the names of all these patients and scrying, like, what were you, like, describe to me how you scry and what you were looking for.
So I was using the graphite of the pencil as a quasi Ouija board, not actually trying to contact spirits or anything, but using its drifting to try to build connections between the various people, and probably some concepts I wrote on the corner, with like dreams, spirits. I'm not going to write aliens because we know there are no aliens. But that kind of thing, just writing down whatever came to mind, and then trying to draw some lines between them, so maybe we can get a sense of at least some sense of what realm the problem might lie within.
Okay, so you only got 1 success.
It's true.
Unless you'd like to add some of these little friends, you can add them just 1 at a time.
Or you can spend a faith die to re-roll that D10. Because you can spend faith die after a roll to re-roll dice.
Wait.
Oh, that's important.
Oh.
Look in the.
It's somewhere.
Where's my book gone?
I thought it was that you use the dice you could just re-roll that faith dice that you get.
No. You spend. The only thing you can spend faith die for after the fact is re-rolling dice that rolled badly, and taking whatever you end up with.
Okay, I thought the way that worked was
worse, but you can't re-roll much worse than a 1. So.
Okay.
But you can take the faith die. You can take the new faith die from the 1, and then spend the faith die to re-roll the die that rolled the 1.
Okay.
Yes.
I did not realize it was supposed to work that way. Okay.
No, you can. You don't even if you don't roll a 1 on your approach or discipline die, you can always spend a faith die if you have it in your pool to re-roll it. It's just if you happen to roll a 1, you can choose to give the DM a demon die and get a faith die, which you can then immediately spend to re-roll it or keep in your faith pool. But you can at any time spend your faith die to re-roll approach or discipline die.
Okay, so do you want to do that, or do you want to?
Sure, that sounds good.
Roll some of these little friends. I dropped one.
I may want to roll one of those little friends after, depending on how this rolls. So that made it a 15.
Okay, that's a succeed with style.
Sure.
So you don't really you get sleep and dreams, which are words you were already kind of I'm expecting that, but you get this weird, the lines being drawn get kind of weird because you will draw it's not just 1 to 1 to 1 to 1, it's 1 and then leads to 3, and then each one of those leads to 3 more, and another one leads to 4 more, and it's kind of like something is growing geometrically.
Huh.
I mean,
It's
Not
So,
human.
like a pyramid scheme running on their
it's
minds.
an MLM. Oh, it's an MLM that eats your brain and your
Yeah.
You're like every other MLM. I'm sorry.
selling your brain cells for leggings. Yes, or essential oils. Yeah, so it's a weird like it's a weird there's definitely a pattern that you were getting on a from a mystic viewpoint that scientists wouldn't be able to see unless there's a sciencey explanation that they haven't found yet. But yeah, it not exactly geometric, not so this problem isn't it's like you see the problem growing.
And is it
No,
only growing between the victims? There are no lines going out to the concepts or the doctors.
um actually you do see a line hit a doctor's name. At least one. Not any of the ones that are that were listed in the "we are studying this thing" and not someone in the sleep department. So you're not really sure what that means. Also, there are lines that sort of go off the page,
Like
given
they're looking.
how there are 500 patients with this problem so far, and you only have so much room on your notebook
Absolutely.
page. So
Okay, so we're basically treating that like an overcome. Yes. So we got in that gave us information we would not. Yeah.
um, let me see if there's anything. I mean, I would allow one free invoke if you can find a fun name for it. If you can find a fun name for it.
And we got one.
The sleep pyramid scheme.
Okay.
Can you repeat that?
Oh wait, what if
Brain
we call
cells
it
sold for sleep.
MLMs?
Sure.
There you go.
Mom. Mom.
Maybe we should put these in chat. I don't know.
Okay, that's it. Good for holy cats.
There we go. I put it in chat. Or main chat. Oh, that's you can't all see the Twitch chat.
I can.
I can. I'm just not really in a position to type it currently.
It's okay. It's something on your face.
I'm still not over the disguise kit thing. It's very entertaining.
Okay, so yeah, is there anything else y'all want to discuss or work on while you're on the train?
So I don't know about you two, but my researchers have developed. Well, I found out that the sleep department has been assigned to every one of these cases, which I suppose is fair, considering that most of them appear to be asleep more than any kind of regular coma. But it is a point of all commonality. Do you think? Suppose we should investigate when we get there?
I think we should. What we found out when we were looking at this was that there's some doctor, not one of the ones who's theoretically investigating it, who seems to be connecting to these people in some fashion.
What's their name?
Name generator to the rescue!
The ongoing DM challenge. Oh shit, you actually asked for somebody's name?
Oh, and I'm guessing. Hold on, let me puzzle this out. I have sort of like a little improvised Ouija board on the bottom of my notebook, but I hadn't actually decoded it yet.
Okay.
Presumably, I just wrote the alphabet on the bottom.
Okay. The name that came up as a doctor is Caitlin Cope,
I would like
who's a trauma surgeon in the ER.
I would like to run her name through the cipher, see what I can get.
Okay, then
Both public records and sealed hospital records.
okay, then roll again +2 for the cipher app.
Yes, I'm going to do it quickly. Research and development. So that's a 6, and 5 is 11, plus 4 is 15. Because
Okay,
I get +2 to quickly create advantages using downward devices.
That's a succeed with style.
Nice.
So you find her records as an employee, and it's like, yeah, trauma surgeon. She's worked there about 10 years. She's got, a good record with the Board of Health and all that. Just, seems like a pretty good MD. You also find her patient records, because she is also asleep. And according to the notes, it's like she basically was just taking a nap in the office, and they couldn't wake her up.
Which office? Did they list that?
Her office in the ER. Like, maybe not the office, but like the rec room kind, or the lounge. Like they found her on a couch in the lounge taking a nap, and they just couldn't get her to wake back up again.
So it seems that Cope is also asleep.
Here.
I'm telling you that,
Dr. Cope.
Well, that answers the question about whether any of the doctors.
That is something that did not come up in the article that Fran showed you. They have not reported any doctors getting sick, asleep yet.
Well, it seems
Haven't reported
they
it.
can't wake the sleepers, so I would say almost that it's not a coma. It's something at the hospital causing them to sleep without waking. If I had to guess. Of course, you two, with your magical abilities, may be more familiar with this than I am.
Perhaps. We'll have to see when we get there, I suspect.
Fair enough.
Okay. Alright, so you arrive at Bellevue Hospital. There is, an administration desk with, kind of nervous-looking guy sitting there, minding a computer, handing out visitor badges, and so on. Everyone, all of the staff members are wearing all their PPE, even though it's 2019. But so people have medical masks on and are wearing their gloves, and there's, bottles of hand sanitizer and bottles and, fancy dispensers of hand sanitizer everywhere. Yeah.
I'll go to the administration desk. Hello, I am Daniel Lister's uncle. These are Daniel Lister's cousins. We are here to visit Daniel Lister.
Alright, can I see some ID?
I show him some
Produce
ID.
the IDs.
Okay, since, do any of you have IDs that have Danielle Lister's last name?
I would like to roll covert ops for having a quick ready-made ID with her name on it.
Okay. In that case, this hospital staffer will roll careful detect BS.
Okay. I rolled a 17 because I did a clever covert ops.
Okay. And he rolled a 9. So you win. So I would even allow you to, let's add another invoke to these are the visitors you're looking for, since that was the secret style. So now that's that, you have 5 invokes on that. But this is a good way to play Demon Hunters. You want to build up your resources, and then, because there might come a time when you have to spend all of them a lot really fast. With a lot of overcome rolls. Anywho, so yeah, so at first he seems a little skeptical, but then he's like, "Nah, you've almost magically convinced this guy." That all
Be
of
like,
it. Yeah.
you know,
Rian, hey, Rian
thank you
has
so
one of those
much.
faces,
It
you
means
know?
so much that we're able to come visit our cousin here.
Since you all suddenly or does just Rian have an ID that cites them as a lister?
Just me.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
Just reading.
Unless he has to them produce ID as well. But
he does ask everyone for an ID, so
Yeah.
he knows what to put on the visitor ID. But cousins don't always have the same last name.
I was
It's
obviously married in.
as a child, you're like 18.
No, I mean, well, probably step cousin.
Oh, okay. Step cousin. Yep. So yeah, he just prints out some quick visitors badges and laminates them and hands them to you with the boring blue the boring white card with the boring blue lanyard. He's like, all right, visiting hours are and he looks at the clock up behind you, and it's about 5 p.m. So visiting hours are only for about another hour, or no, 7 p.m. So only about another 2 hours. So yes, and but yeah, so these will be good for until 7 p.m. and then unfortunately you'll have to, unless you can make other arrangement with the hospital and with her direct family or her immediate family. You can only be here till 7.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Since he's in a coma, I'm pretty sure there'll be more than enough time. She, right? She.
Luckily, Rian rolled a succeed with style. And this guy is already on to the next, person in line behind you, wanting to see someone in the hospital or whatever is happening at that desk.
I would like to point out that her name is in fact written.
I know.
I do
Sneaky,
deeply
I'm not.
appreciate that. I'm gonna kind of like smack you as we're walking. Like,
Oh my god.
we're not supposed to misgender. Come on. We've talked about this.
Misgendering a cisgendered person takes skill. I should know.
Please try and act like professionals.
So it is 8:30. We usually take a break at this point. A 10-minute break, so everyone can bio break and relax, and I can get more water, etc. So, do we want to keep playing, or do we want to take our break?
I would like to take a break.
Break seems great.
Okay.
So I'm curious. Before we break for a moment, see, is in fact my my picture the crocheted Dalek? Is that what's going on there?
No, it's a picture of you going like with your eyes.
I got
closed,
nothing.
Like someone
It was
photographed
terribly
you while you were
entertaining.
asleep. The knitted Dalek would have evoked like a, "Aw, that's so cute." This was not. So yeah, that is a cute knitted Dalek. Okay, so chat, we'll be back in 10 minutes, hopefully, assuming I don't fuck something up. Yeah. And we'll see you all in about 10 minutes, and we will continue with this interesting Demon Hunters Take Manhattan one-shot adventure. Woo! See you in a bit. And muting everyone. unmute everyone. Hello, nerds going. We are back. Oh, okay. Merc has explained the illusion.
I have explained how I can see my character sheet, not necessarily,
Oh,
what
we
illusion.
have been shuffled.
Because we all turned off our cameras and turned them back on at different times.
Except
Yep.
me. So I'm in the same place.
Yeah. Well, that's
Alright.
because you always stay on the same place in your Zoom window, which is what you're capturing.
And you didn't turn off your camera.
Yeah, well, it's weird because I would, if someone were to explain all this to me, I would assume my picture would be over there, would be, in the upper
No.
left-hand corner all the time. But no, because I'm the host and this is my screen. But no,
Well,
Zero.
it's mirrored going into it's mirrored going from Zoom into OBS, because if you look at Zoom, this is actually backwards. But if you look at it on stream, it's actually spelled correctly.
It actually looks fine on my Zoom.
Oh, well, it's backwards on mine, so maybe it's just me.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
that's fine to
the
me,
deal
too.
with Zoom, I think every chat, is that your image is mirrored and nobody else's image is mirrored, because that way it doesn't look weird, because we're used to looking at mirrors.
True. Okay. All right. So here we are back. Chat, can you hear us okay this time? Because I did my best to fix what was broken last week, especially when OBS broke it again when I started this stream earlier tonight. Yay! So
Huzzah!
all thanks to Merc for
Thank you, Harlan.
Yep. All thanks to Merc for being an actual computer person that I just pretend to be. Because librarians, we aren't actually experts of everything, but we know how to look smart, and we
And have
know
looked them
when
up,
to
which
ask
is almost the
questions.
same thing.
And we know when to ask for help from people who actually know what they're doing. Yay! All right, so y'all had picked up your visitors passes. Oh, let me set my alarm for another bunch of time so we don't run over tonight. Okay, hour and 20 minutes. Let's burn this shit to the ground. Or not. We'll see. I like yes-ending my players. But it's good to always be prepared that they might just burn down the tavern. That's my general philosophy approach to GMing. Like, you can build the most elaborate scaffolding of plot, but sometimes you're just gonna burn it all down, and
Arson in the hospital sounds like a great plan. Let's go.
So many oxygen tanks, and there's a boiler room, and it's just, yay! So much flammable here.
Yeah.
So many flesh bags.
500 sleeping people who can't get out.
Indeed.
So yeah, the person at the desk also handed you a map and just quickly circled where Danielle is, and based on and it looks like there's just it's just a big it's just sort of a general recovery room near one of their surgery departments. You get kind of you get a map that's just a visitor's map. So there's a lot of, visitors don't need to know where that is, so they don't really include it. But it can get you to Danielle if that's where you're going. But now that you have visitors passes and a map, and also 5 free invokes in these are the visitors you're looking for.
I believe it would behoove us to go and check out the sleep department to start out with.
Okay.
If only to
I
set a
agree.
baseline.
That sounds good.
Okay.
Source of the chaos for ourselves.
So you can find that on the visitors map. When you get to you get to the elevator bank area, and there's one of those big signs that has all of the departments listed with their room and floor numbers and everything. And it's mostly alphabetical, and it looks like it's all been laser printed as one big thing. But at the bottom, there's a bunch of like blank spots, and one of those blank spots is the sleep medicine and study department kind of a fix there with like a label maker, not part of. So it's like this.
Hmm.
So it's easy. It's so at first you don't find it because this is an alphabetical order and it isn't with the other S's. It is at that in one of those blank extra spaces in the bottom. But it lists the floor and the suite number, and it's pretty easy to get there. Is there anything anyone else is looking for, or keeping an eye on, or just going straight for the sleep department?
Well, we should find out where this Caitlin Cope is, because if there's a doctor who's been taking on this, they may be putting them somewhere else.
Okay. Do you want to hack that?
I can do that.
I'm going to see if one of my friends will hack it.
I'll hack it
Okay. So
quickly,
you get a +2 for the Cypher app.
and I get a +2 to quickly develop information advantages using internet-connected devices. So that gets me a +4, which puts me at 16.
So that's a succeed with style. So yeah, you very easily find. So this isn't the visitor's map. This is you hacking into the actual, maps and systems and everything. So was this build an advantage or overcome an obstacle?
This is create advantage.
Okay, so that's 2 invokes. So do you just want to add it to these are the visitors you're looking for, and so you have
No.
a 7, or do you want to?
Nope. We'll create a new advantage called couldn't cope with it.
This is
Yeah.
why we're friends. It has 2 invokes on it, unless you'd like to spend some Demondus.
No, 2 is fine.
No? Okay. I'm a sad GM.
We're resisting very well today,
No one knows me.
for now.
Okay, so yeah, so you find out so yeah, it's another kind of recover. It looks like like they've kind of cordoned off a certain number of recovery rooms across the hospital for the sleeping patients that are separate from other recovery rooms that have awake patients thus far.
Oh,
So
Encouraging.
Dr. Cope and Ms. Lister are in different rooms, but you definitely see how like some of the this problem they've requisitioned a whole bunch of recovery rooms for this situation.
Do I get that information when I go looking for where Cope is?
Yeah.
Then I'm going to mark on our visitors map which rooms are sleep recovery rooms and which ones are regular recovery rooms.
Yep, you can do that easily.
So it seems that the doctor is in this one here, and I,
And
make a
you
quick mark on
definitely
that one.
see a whole bunch, pretty much all the recovery rooms on the same floor as the sleep study department. All of those are just all sleeping patients right now, which makes sense. And
It's
I think that is the floor where Danielle Lister is, but not Cope, not Dr. Cope, because she only went under yesterday,
fair.
which might be why they haven't explained that to the papers
publicized
yet.
it.
Okay. So,
But Danielle has been asleep for a few days now, so she's on the sleep meds floor.
I would like to sneakily R&D to check for any unusual radiation or any kind of signals that I would not expect to find in a hospital.
Okay, you have an app for that. You can also use the Cypher app for that.
Okay.
So you're still rolling your own stats, but it's still with the additional +2.
Right. But I'm still doing it sneakily because I don't want people to realize that I'm trying to, scan for things.
Yep, you're just like,
Especially-
oh, my cell phone. Where is the reception?
Especially because I might also be scanning for things like, ectoplasm or cold spots because ghosts. That's how they work, right?
Okay,
But
so
Sometimes.
I'm scanning for physical reactions to possible supernatural stimuli as well as regular stuff, which is why I'm using the Brotherhood, what do you call it, app?
Cypher.
Cypher app, because it also picks up on the kind of shit that you would not expect regular shit to pick up on, because we've experienced this before. So that's, and okay, so that is a 10.
You don't pick up any weird radiation.
Not even if I add a demon die?
Well, I mean, this is what you get for a 10. I mean, do you want to add some demon dice?
I will add 1.
Hee-hee.
Come on, big money, no whammies. That is a 5.
Okay, so that is a 15. That is
Pretty
consistent
good.
with style.
Nice.
So the heating in this building, it's spring break, so it's like March. So yeah, the heating is still on, but it's not. It's an older building, so it's not awesome. So there are kind of already cold spots.
Mhm.
You do notice a wandering cold spot. Or wait, just on this floor?
Yeah, on this, we'll start with this floor. This floor being the floor with the sleeping people and the sleeping number whatever people. Sleep study. That's what I wanted to say.
Okay, then we'll say you do not see any ghost representative cold spots.
Hmm.
Let me.
No weird radio signals. No weird radiation.
Nope, no weird radiation, no weird radio signals, no MacGuffinite,
No phlebotinum.
no phlebotinum, no flubber. Well, that is phlebotinum.
Technically, yes.
Sorry.
Phlebotinum ranges from unobtainium to you can't afford'ium, but yeah. But yeah, phlebotinum. No phlebotinum, okay. No radiation, so I don't know. No.
No gas leaks, no and basically the cipher is giving a scan of environmental factors similar to what the mundane professionals would have done, but also with extra things like MacGuffinite and things that are maybe two small parts per million for like, and also
Yeah.
things like uranium, plutonium,
And
radiation, and all the weird trace elements, some of which are not really accepted by mundane science.
yeah, and like no, like other.
Nanites, can't find any nanites.
Yep. Well, I can't find, looking for cold spots or ghosts, but like, you don't smell any brine, so it's not a kappa or, whatever, that kind of stuff.
No glitter.
No glitter, no
Oh, that's good.
no salt, no unusual concentrations of even common elements that would indicate the presence of the supernatural that the cipher knows about. So I'm going to put it away and I'm going to inform my companions of the results.
The cipher is also scanning some forms of mystical radiation that the Brotherhood has managed to pinpoint using physical means, and can't really find anything there. That like it's not exhaustive.
Yeah, not nearly, but
it can't really. It's not really finding any of those either.
right. So like, I'm afraid that
with the 15, it has noticed that there does seem to be and it will actually say like not it senses the cold spot and then doesn't it's like, oh, I sense some ectoplasm. There is a ghost a few floors down, but they're hanging out with the awake people.
yeah. And I mean, this is Bellevue. I would expect some ghosts anyway, but
This is
nothing of a scale that would indicate that a ghost is behind this.
This is the oldest hospital in the United States. So,
Yeah.
there's
surprising there's only one ghost.
Yeah.
Well, only one so far.
Yeah.
Oh, it's true.
So it seems that none of my scans have picked up any mundane explanation for what is going on here. I would suggest a supernatural approach, but that is up to you.
Shall we talk to the ghost?
I was going to try to put out some feelers and see if there's any other ghosts or something with the history of this place supernaturally affecting anything here. I mean, I do have experience with ghosts and undead, so. I guess I'll do a sort of quiet ritual to
There's
see if I can-
bathrooms.
yeah, you know, just be like, just step into the restroom real quick, see if I can do some magics without raising alarms in people working
Sure.
here.
You know what? I'll go with you.
And
Okay.
this is New York City, so they technically have the men and women symbols on the bathroom doors, but also a note that says, please use whichever restroom vibes with your gender identity as you present.
Yeah.
They do not have an androgynous or a non-binary bathroom, unfortunately, but they do say, like,
Alas.
use what you are comfortable with.
Assuming you're okay going to the girls' bathroom.
Yeah, we'll step into the women's restroom because Anna and
I'm staying out here and observing the passersby.
yeah, keep an eye on things. Honestly,
Sure.
a couple of college students doing necromancy in the bathroom shouldn't raise too many eyebrows.
So long as you're in a stall, and this is a hospital, so there's like one of those big handicap stalls.
Oh hell
Um,
yeah!
Sure. Okay.
So long as
So
no
I-
handicap people or people with handicaps actually need to use it.
So I'm going to take my shirt off once we're in the stall.
Okay.
And I will concentrate as words of necromancy appear upon my skin.
Cool.
Or rather, as the
You are
words.
the reading.
So I'm pretty sure that's. I don't know. Chris, what
My
is
eyes are up
what's
here,
your
the
roll
Necronomicon is down here.
for
Okay, how do you
What's
want
your-
to do this?
that? Let's see. This still feels clever, but let's go for R&D, because I'm trying to pull up the right books and the right writings
Okay,
to
so-
help Shay.
Okay, so this is a.
I'm creating advantage.
Great. Okay, so you want to create an advantage. All right, so
This would be fragile, but that's okay.
to bring them up like in the Brotherhood database, or
No, I'm bringing them up on my skin where Shay can read
Yeah.
them.
that,
It's creepy as fuck.
that would be Mystic Arts, not R&D.
Okay, that's good. Gets a better roll, but
Yeah.
unfortunately,
I
probably
mean-
won't roll as well.
Die.club.
Surprise! I rolled a 9 on the D10, but I rolled a 4 on the D12.
That is
That makes it a 10.
13. That is a what?
That the D10 was the one I had to throw away because it wasn't in the pool. So that's a 10.
Okay. All right. So so that's a +1 for Shay's roll. Yeah, you kind of like summon the text you need. And what? So you're basically summoning a tome of necromancy.
Sure.
Or, like what? So, Shay, what are you looking for? So I know what Anna is googling
Checking.
for you. Body googling.
Necromancy rituals to sort of get a sense of the place and the people that have been here. So like ghosts that are here and imprints that living people have left, and just see if any of that environmental factor of this being a really old place has led to some accidental manifestation of weird nightmares.
Okay.
And that was actually a 12 because I forgot that learning is still fun.
Okay. Well, it's still. I mean,
But that's still, yeah, it's still a regular success.
It would be a +2 if you wanted to add some demon dice and get it up to a 15.
I know.
You could
I'm
totally
tempted,
do
but-
that.
Sure.
Demon
Let's
dice
add
make it
one demon.
interesting later on, honestly, and it's not that hard to get to the 15 from here.
Yep. So that is in fact a 16.
Awesome. Yeah, so Shay
Fantastic.
gets a +2 to their roll. And let me bring up the Wikipedia page, because, oh boy, Shay.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
I think when I go to roll, I am going to invoke my aspect of unsupervised occultist, because doing necromancy in a bathroom stall seems pretty unsupervised to me. Yeah, someone else is with me, but like we're both just unsupervised college idiots. We're no experts. We're the ones who wrote these mystic tomes.
If they wanted us to do this correctly, they should have written them better.
What are you saying? I have incredible amounts of power.
What
Not
was
that
it?
much
What was it?
control, but incredible amounts of power.
What was it Doctor
Yeah.
Strange did? Why always put the warnings at the end of the book?
Yeah, basically. And well, shit, we don't have that, but I can use this instead. Substitutions make witchcraft.
You also have, your magic. Both of you have magical supply aspects to
Oh,
use.
indeed.
So Anna has all the magical supplies, and Shay has necromancies, not all herbs.
Since this is specifically necromancy, I will use that invoke on necromancy,
you can
not
use
all
one from each
herbs.
if Anna's okay with you borrowing her shit.
Sure.
Okay,
So you got a lot of dice on this.
cool. Yeah, this is gonna be a fun roll. I'm glad you pulled up the Wikipedia page. Are you prepared for me to roll the dice?
Yes.
Cool. That is a 20.
Oh, fun.
Doing basic math.
Yeah. And I had a +2 on it, yeah, so it's actually a 22. Not that that bumps it up to the next level or anything, but yeah.
So let me check that and the Bellevue's own website history thingy, so I can get the dates right, or the general eras, since you are kind of looking for the death resonance thumbprint.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's basically it.
About us history.
There's apparently a Bellevue hospital here in Ohio somewhere, and so I had to type in specifically NYC to see if I could pull up the Wikipedia page myself.
Oh no.
So it's like, oh, location, you want the one near you. No, not this time.
For once, no. I would like to look at history, not mine.
Indeed.
So, okay, I'm not finding exactly what I want to find, but so I'm just gonna say now, this may not go the way Shay expected, because they are performing a ritual trying to read the history of death in a 280-year-old hospital in New York City.
That used to be an asylum.
Yes, that too.
Oh, I'm expecting some shit to go
So, we're
fucking
talking
sideways, but
Yellow fever in the 1790s. We're talking all of the flu epidemics. We're talking smallpox. We're talking tuberculosis. We're talking all of the things. Lots of
Yup.
people have come here to die over 280 years.
and a lot of people with a lot of ills have come and gone
Yes, and a lot
on top of all of the death.
Oh yeah. The good news is that at this year, so Anna, you've got your Necronomicon shirt on, or your necromancy shirt on.
Yeah, I'm probably leaning up against the wall of the stall so that they can read my back.
Okay, so you get a sense of Shay will start reading this out loud and just sort of start rising and glowing off of the floor, chanting, and you can't really see that, their eyes have turned white and all that. You're not really looking that way, or do you look that way? Do you turn your head?
I'll turn my head to see what's going on.
They're glowing with this ghostly light. Their eyes have turned blank white. their hair is kind of flying on its own accord, and they're, about a foot up off the ground.
Hell yeah.
Shay, as the magic words take you, you are completely overwhelmed by the amount of death and history in this place. Shrieks
Okay.
and crying and moaning and death in every physical manner you can think of, including accidents that have happened in this hospital itself. Like, and times 280 years. Ouch. So
Yeah.
Migraine.
what happens? So Anna, what you see is that Shay does this, and then there's kind of the whole thing kind of like they're frozen, like the whole moment is frozen suddenly, and then Shay just falls to the floor as Shay is no longer in their body. You don't know that because you don't. I mean, you can make me. And as Shay, as you're standing there again over your unconscious body,
Mostly dead, actually.
mostly dead, a head kind of pops up through the floor and is like, "What the hell's going on up here?" As this like kind of old lady goes, just like, "What is this? Just what are you young people doing these days? Why?" And
Wait,
she's
can I
like,
hear or see this too, or can only
not
Shay see it?
yet. I mean, you
Yep.
could make it. I mean, you saw your new friend collapse unconscious on the floor. What do you do?
Right. Sure. I will attempt to do a Mystic Eyes spell just to see what's really here.
Okay. Yeah. That would be a mystic arts roll. How do you approach it?
I will approach it cleverly by reading an appropriate spell on off my arm.
Blah blah blah.
Sure, I've done this before.
Like you've never had to see ghosts before.
Yeah, really. And that is I think this is an overcome, not a create advantage.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is a 21.
Oh, that is succeed with style. So, bad news is you get an echo of what Shay had to deal with before they passed the fuck out. So that gives so I'll say you have the mild condition migraine.
Yep.
Make a choice for your conditions.
Headache.
And you two are also suddenly aware of how maybe that was a bad idea to do that kind of spell in a hospital.
Oh, I never said it was a good one.
I have no idea what they've done. I'm standing outside watching people going up and down the hallway.
Yep, there wasn't even a scream. There wasn't any noise. Shay just like, but yeah, you get like a wave of that. And you're like, fuck.
Oh, what the hell did you?
And then you see.
I said we should just talk to the ghost. You wanted to.
You see.
You see an old lady in kind of just like a raggedy old nightgown. Standing about, they're both kind of hovering about a foot off the ground, but this little old lady is about a foot shorter than Shay. Shay's not that tall. Like, this is a cranky little old lady is definitely scolding Shay for like, what kind of necromantic nonsense are you children up to? There are people trying to sleep. I mean, they shouldn't be, but what?
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
Do you know what kind of
Oh,
dangerous...
good, you can see us.
You don't...
I think you've accidentally discorporated.
Do you know what
Shay,
kind of dangerous specters you could bring back here with the history of this place? And why?
Yes. Because we're idiots.
Yes, you are.
I'm not an idiot.
I
I'm
am.
incredibly strong ball of yes, I know. Ball of magic, only barely under control. Now.
But now that you have my attention, is there anything I can do to help you to make you stop doing stupid things?
Why are all these people sleeping, and how do we stop it?
there are things hovering over the. I don't know what they are, but I can. There are tiny elephants attacking these people in their sleep. I'll show you. And she just flies through the wall.
I'm gonna tell Anna, like, don't worry.
I'll
about
watch
the
your body.
flesh bag. Thanks.
Hold on, watch my flesh bag, okay?
Watch my
I'd
flesh
say I'd
bag
make sure
for
you
me.
wouldn't die, but I'm pretty sure your heart's not beating. Is that usual?
Yeah. It happens sometimes. Remember, I
Okay.
said that I had some experience with the undead? I meant that I was kind of one of them. I'll be back. I'm gonna follow the old lady ghost.
Do you want to put a link to the short film about Shay in the chat?
Yes, I do indeed.
Yeah.
Put it in the Discord too.
Yeah.
I will.
Well, I mean, that Discord's just for us, but yes, put it in chat. I can then put it on the Twitter. It's like more about Shay and how Shay got this way. But yeah, so Rianne, you notice nothing because you cannot see ghosts at this time.
Nope.
So Rianne is still just hanging out next to the bathroom door, waiting for his friends to come out. And unbeknownst to you, a disembodied Shay and a cranky little old lady just sort of float out and... okay, so... So Anna, you're just gonna sit and watch the body?
No. I will, unless somebody's going to attack, it should just be, whatchamacallit. I'll put a ward on the door and step out to tell Rianne what happened.
Okay, on the bathroom door or just the stall door?
Just the stall door.
Okay, because this is a standard American bathroom stall where you can see if you just look under, oh, there's someone lying on the floor. And there's a sleep pandemic.
Oh, that's true.
I should have made
mean-
you roll for that, but I'm being nice.
Then I probably should roll for that because I'm going to include there's nothing here. There's nothing interesting beyond this ward aspect.
This is not
Oh,
the
which means
body
I
you're
can do
looking
it as well.
for.
Somebody else's problem.
This is not this is not the corpse you're looking for.
Technically, I don't get a say because I'm not here, but sleep pandemic going on, you could use my flesh bag to find out what they do with people that they find asleep. Of course, then they'd probably realize that I'm not exactly alive, and that would be a
Yeah.
Hashtag necromancer problems.
potential issue.
Gotta yank your body out of the morgue again.
Yeah, that's probably happened
However,
before.
I rolled a
Probably
7. I don't know how
probably-
that happens when I roll a 7.
You just don't succeed. I mean, you didn't botch. But you know, you could roll some of these little friends, these demondis, and
Could I succeed at a cost? Is the other question. Is that a thing?
I don't play standard fate, so I don't know what that means.
Let's not worry about it now.
Okay, but you do not succeed without a 10, but you had the. Where are your friends,
No,
Josh?
fine. I will
We're
stay in the
everybody's
bathroom. I will prop up Rianne. Oh, sorry, Shay. On the seat, as if she is not unconscious and isn't or dead, and is in fact simply using the stall. And I will text Rianne to say what happened, and maybe I could use someone to spell me here, so that I can take a look at these the tiny elephants.
Receive a text. Oh,
Okay, for that to make it look like Shay is not a dead body in a bathroom stall, that would be a covert ops roll.
Yeah, that's why I want help on this. I'm bad at this.
Man,
All right.
man, Shay's
First-
dead. What do I do?
hang on. First, clearly I cannot go into the women's restroom as Daniel
and-
Whitaker's uncle.
So,
Okay. So I am actually going to roll for this because it'll be fun.
gotta change
So
the
because
strain.
because I exude an infectious emotional aura, and I'm in an inconvenient situation that's really embarrassing, that is going to get in my way. And so I'm going to just roll my let's see. So that's covert ops plus clever, I guess, for this maneuver. Does that sound
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
But because I'm suffering my own aspect, do I have to roll do I have to roll the higher die, or I can roll whichever die I want?
You roll both dice still, but you keep the highest one.
Oh, okay. So sure, I'll roll a 10 and a d4.
He's trying to endure his aspect.
I'm totally enjoying my aspect. This is a good situation for it. As the area is filled with with discomfort, which Rian probably picks up on. Also, so does anybody else passing. And I have a 4.
Yeah, you fail.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what
I'm-
you're trying to do.
I was trying to make it less obvious that there was a dead person in this room. I did not. For one thing,
Yeah,
mine
you
still on the
failed.
ground.
So I rolled a 13 to change disguises. All right. Here.
Okay, you do. Do you change this? You change the bulb.
One sec.
Klaatu, Verata, necktie. Hi, Minus. I think I can guess that that's another friend of mine. Hello. Thank you for hanging with us. I'm watching my Demon Hunters impromptu team of vigilante tourists create their own problems.
Isn't that our job?
Yes, it is.
This is what we're good at. This is
All
why
right.
we play Demon Hunters.
So I think
Here, here.
everyone
Disguise
in the
change.
general area is suddenly feeling disgusted as I have my hands on this corpse.
There we go. Disguise changed.
All right, yes. Do you now enter the ladies' restroom?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, there's Shay is there's the oversized handicap stall at the end, where Anna is, I guess, kneeling and Shay is laying. And what just happened?
All right. As a nurse, I will head back out of the bathroom, down to the nurse's station, get a wheelchair, and come back. Body in.
I'll say it just works. Let's just go with it.
So we'll skip over the inevitable. No, this person was fine. Don't do anything about it. Slash,
That's the
Anna,
it's
roll you
me.
make
Anna.
later.
Anna, it's Brian. Put Shay on the wheelchair.
Okay.
Please put Shay on the wheelchair. Thank you.
Sure. That sounds great.
And I will commence wheeling Shay's body down the corridors.
Oh,
I'm
do you have sunglasses? I need
walk
to
with
cover these
purpose,
up
like
somehow.
I'm going somewhere.
My eyes are still glowing because they're still seeing magic.
Not necessarily. I mean, you
Okay.
can be. Like,
Well, they don't have to be.
yay, people are actually chatting in the chat. It's awesome. Okay, so okay, you've got your friend in a wheelchair. All this is going on. Shay, you have been floating down the corridor with a little old lady who takes you into one of the rooms full of sleepers. And there are some, nurses and orderlies, like checking equipment, checking vital signs, changing IV bags, keeping people. No one here is on a respirator. But now that you're a disembodied spirit, let's see. I'll just say it, and then you can figure it out with rolls later. You
Okay.
see like a little kind of beast about the size of a chihuahua, but rounder. It looks a bit like a tapir or an elephant or an anteater. And it's each one of these sleeping people has one of these things kind of like with its trunk nose thing kind of attached to the top of their head, and and it looks like that ridiculous scene in Dumbo where it's just like drinking something. And yeah, and they actually roll me a clever mystic arts roll.
All right. Keep my dice on the desk. That would be nice.
So we've got 40 minutes.
That is a 10.
Okay. That's enough. You don't think that these are spectral beings? You think that they have some kind of invisibility magic.
Okay.
So you might not have been able to see them if you were alive. Or, you know. But, and clearly no one else has seen them because no one's reported, like, has a tiny elephant attached to their cranium.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think, are they attacking them? Are they feeding off them? Just what is happening? Of course Arcane the Sage knows what this is.
Ironically enough, I do too, actually.
Also,
I
anyone who
think
plays
I have
Animal-
heard of this, but I am not terribly well versed.
There's also one in Animal Crossing.
Well, I mean, it's Drowsy. The Pokemon. This Drowsy was based on the same sort of thing.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna bring up Drowsy on Google, because I'm not that into Pokemon.
Muna and Masharna were too. I'm pretty sure anyway. If it's what I'm thinking of.
And wait, 18 years from my... Yeah, it does kind of look like that, only it's a quadruped.
Yep.
Okay. And it's not a cartoon.
Yeah.
Well, you
It's
clearly
got, like,
found the elephants in the room.
It's got like hair and bulgy eyes and teeth. Or no, yeah, you can kind of see that there are teeth under the trunk.
Like tusks or...
Yeah, tusks, but little, and
Okay.
you can't really get a sense of whether this creature looks mean or not, but you haven't really tried to interact with one yet.
You don't see that every day.
Well, we do
I mean,
now.
I suppose you do now.
They're everywhere. Just and they keep feeding, and then they multiply, and then they make more of them, and they just keep feeding, and I don't know why they're here.
Wait, so they get more? They just multiply like rabbits? Just...
Basically, I mean, I'm certainly not sticking around to watch them mate, but
Ugh.
I'm assuming they're just reproducing, because there's more, unless more are just arriving. I don't know. And this department was in danger of getting shut down before this all started, so that's very suspicious.
That really is.
It's a new sleep study department. It wasn't doing well with treating its patients. I don't really know how that works, because...
Would there have been anyone who, I suppose, had the most to lose if this place got shut down?
Well, probably the head of the department. What was his name again? Dr. Wood.
And Dr. Wood isn't one of the people sleeping.
No, he is still awake. He also was having, what shall we say? Having, inappropriate relations with one of the janitorial staff.
Oh.
So I don't think I would mind if he went away. I don't think he's
Can
a
you
very
show me
proper
where to
doctor.
find him?
What?
Can you show me where to find him?
Oh, sure, his office is this way. And she just floats through another wall. It's just
I'll follow.
hashtag ghost life.
Undeath.
Hashtag undeath. Undeath life. Eh. Anywho, so yeah, and she just, and she just no one can see you and just is leading you to the
Yeah.
next thing. So while
Well-
that's happening, Anna and Rian, what are you doing with Shay's body? And
Well, we're clearly in a chapter of Weekend at Bellevue's, and
you've attached strings to their wrists and are just
Don't even bother. I mean, we're you know, we're in a plague of sleepers, in a ward of sleepers, you know, another sleeper, and I will be taking her. And then every person who asks me where I'm taking her, I'll give them a different empty room because I did get the list of all the empty rooms that were set aside for
well, all the beds on this floor are full because they're right
Yes.
by the sleep department.
yes, but we found her on this floor. We're taking her to X floor, X room, but I tell a different every person who asks me that I tell a different
Okay.
room, a different number.
Okay, but
I keep walking around with purpose.
give me a covert ops roll for that. You
I
can
will-
use these are the visitors you are looking for.
Yes, I will do it cleverly too. So that and that and this. And the die is not spent for the visitors because it rolled a 1, but it did put me at a 15.
Okay, so that's a succeed. Yep, they believe you. No one is none the wiser. Oh, another sleeping person. Whatever.
Yep.
It's become so commonplace these days that they just walk on by.
Yep.
Don't even care.
So I'm walking around essentially looking like I'm going somewhere, but I'm not really going anywhere. I'm just keeping walking.
Okay, Anna, while you're just sort of walking through the corridor, you do see Shay following the little old lady, because you can still see ghosts,
Yep.
To an office area.
I give you a thumbs up as we go by. I'm like,
So I will tap Rianne just to get at the moment her attention, and head off in that direction.
Okay, Rianne, do you follow, or do you just sort of keep patrolling?
I will go ahead and follow,
Okay.
looking like I'm still going somewhere with the wheelchair, but
Succeed with style, yeah, you're still none the wiser that y'all are not supposed to be here. Except maybe Shay, but not on this floor. Shay should be in the morgue. Because Shay is dead.
but everybody just thinks I'm sleeping.
Some of the nurses were not convinced that was sleep, but Rianne rolled high enough and everything's fine.
I'm not staying in place long enough for somebody to check.
Right. Okay, so yeah, Shay, you unencumbered by, a meat sack, you and the little old lady kind of just like through the closed, and the little old lady does not wait or knock or anything because she's a ghost. So fuck this, and she just floats through the door. And do you float after her?
Of course.
Yep. Foop, foop. And you see, there's middle-aged doctor guy in a lab coat, and then there's this woman kind of sitting kind of on the edge of his desk looking back at him, and she's wearing like a janitorial kind of jumpsuit, but she is stunningly beautiful.
Oh, that must be suspicious.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
they're not being intimate right now, but he's definitely just like freaking out about something, and she's being a very calming kind of influence. Shay, give me another Mystic Arts roll. I'll say this is a clever. Again.
All right.
Because it's effectively a notice check, I guess.
I just rolled a 15.
Succeed with style. So the doctor dude is just doing this and not really looking up, but at first you think the woman is just a big hand talker, but then you notice this is actually a somatic component, and that she is spell casting at him to make him feel better. And
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah. And is it the content of their conversation?
I'm getting an idea, but I would like to listen for a moment.
Oh yeah.
Because I need to know how best to pull off said idea.
Okay, let me write down my own notes. See what did happen that they were talking about. Yeah, he's doing the whole kind of Jeff Goldblum like I thought like this thing started a week ago, and I thought, oh, finally, like the board will see the value of this department, and we can help people. But now it's just out of hand, and I don't have any answers, so I can't. I'm not actually. So this is backfiring on my department when I thought we could save it, and she's like, just calm down, just try and breathe through it, like I told you when we did that little, good luck exercise. He's like, yeah, I still don't like believe in the superstitious nonsense with the coin and like the candle, like what, like, okay, but I don't like superstition isn't gonna help me now, and I just don't know what to do. She's like, and she's just very clearly just enchanting him with words, like, and he is slowly starting to calm down. She's like, don't worry, I'm here.
Seems that she has ulterior motives in calling him down, or is she genuinely being supportive?
That would be a covert ops role.
Okay.
Or a social engineering one.
Oh,
because...
no, yeah, that would be a social...
That would be better for me.
Social engineering, I'll allow that. Pretty people don't clean. Yes, we do.
That's a 7.
Yeah, you don't... Grown-ups are weird.
Demon die.
Oh yes, you can definitely add one of those little...
I need this information to determine how I'm going to do my thing. So I'm now at a 10.
Awesome. She's definitely... You can tell that she likes him, but she's definitely manipulating him to do and just the fact that it sounds like she walked him through a good luck ritual with a coin and a candle before all this started, and yeah, she's definitely got an ulterior motive, and she is not at all worried about this place, burning down, metaphorically speaking. She definitely has some kind of stake in this, and it is not for him to succeed, whatever that means. But she does seem to like him.
Attraction and using people don't necessarily have to impede one another.
I also thought you were going to make a comment about meatbags and their hormones, but okay.
I mean, that too, but
Are you going to share with the class, or are we going to keep walking around?
The old lady's like, there's something strange about that woman.
Oh, absolutely.
So brazen. What janitor wears that much makeup?
Well, I don't think it's about her being a janitor. I'm gonna then thank the ghost for the help, and I'm gonna go check back in.
Now, you mind don't do any more necromancy, young person.
I will not be casting any more necromancy spells. Unless it's necessary to get rid of the things.
Well, God's anything I can do to help with that, because that's just not natural and I don't like it.
I would appreciate that.
Meanwhile, nobody's
It's not natural, says the ghost.
Nobody's died of this yet.
Nobody's what?
Nobody's died of this yet.
Yeah. I'm gonna start going out of the room, hoping that, and like gesture for her to follow, because, you know, she's in on it now, and if she comes and hears my check-in with the group, like...
Yeah, she seems like she wants to stay and glower at the pretty girl, but she's like, fine.
Yeah. And once we're, like, out of the room, because I don't think she could see us, but I don't want to take the risk. And I'm gonna say something about like that woman is using magic. She has ulterior motives. And yeah.
Do you want to look at her locker? Or not her locker, the broom closet.
Perhaps, but I want to go check in with the two people I came with first because they are currently wheeling my flesh bag around in a wheelchair, trying to avoid weird looks. So.
Yeah, and you run into them, so to speak, as they're coming down the hallway towards you.
I found some information.
All right.
I can't
Anna
hear
says
this.
to no one.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Rand can't
Yes,
hear
I
this.
see.
So, first of all, sorry for not warning you about the discorporation thing. Before that happened, I would have warned you if I'd known it was going to happen just then, but
That would have been helpful.
I know.
Apologies.
I would pull out my
Exactly
phone so it's
possible.
more obvious. So I have a better reason for talking to no
Every
one.
Oh, I do that.
I'm just gonna put this out here because I don't want to try and talk over because like we're in Zoom or whatever and talking over is hard. Every time Anna says something to nobody, Rihanna is going to respond like Anna is talking to them.
We'll just say that works. Okay.
And
And I just wanted to because otherwise I'm gonna be talking over Drac and that doesn't work in Zoom. So that's what I'm doing in the real world.
Okay.
tell Rianne thanks on the wheelchair thing. I mean, it seems to be working fairly well.
Thanks for taking care of my friend. It was really a surprise.
Indeed, it was. An unwelcome one, even.
Chris, do you have a name for the ghost lady? Chris,
Phyllis Diller.
Have you
Phyllis
asked her?
Diller, do it.
No.
Phil-
Have you asked her yet?
I haven't, but I intend to in a moment. So wanted to give you a heads up on that.
Oh yeah. Name generator.
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell them first about the mystical creature things that are running around invisible and possibly feeding off of people's dreams. It's my best guess on that one.
Did I notice any elephants or see any elephants that I didn't notice when we were walking around?
Nope, you didn't see
Okay.
any elephants of any size.
Okay.
I'm going to run the description through the Brotherhood database.
Okay. Roll it +2 for the cipher app.
And do it quickly so I can get +2 from my thing. So that is
I'm a
12.
little incapable of using the cipher right now.
12. So I'll go ahead and roll one Demandus. And that gets me to, that's 3, so 15.
Okay, succeed with style. You're like elephant to peer, long trunk, eats brains, sleep? Question mark? Like you
I mean, to be honest, I literally just plugged Dream Eater into Google and came up with what I suspect it is, so...
So what comes up in the database is a creature called a Baku. It is known, well, the word Baku comes from Japanese mythology. It also shows up in Chinese under a different name. And it is basically a spirity creature, something or other, that eats people's dreams. It's unclear whether or not these are malevolent entities. Because usually they're in some mythology they're known to kind of go to children when they're asleep and eat their nightmares. But then there are also stories that say like they can eat too many of your dreams and you just become like a boring, dull person with no dreams and no creativity. So it's kind of like it's assumed that they're animals in a sense, rather than sentient beings with a real will or plan. They just like eat some dreams, nom nom nom, and then move on to the like. There's
Yeah.
nothing really about them and causing comas, but
I mean,
it also doesn't say that they travel in packs of hundreds. So, like, they pop up once in a while. They're usually pretty benign. It doesn't really give you it. It suggests banishment spells. It's a little bit. It seems spirity, but it's unclear if it is a spirit or a physical creature with invisibility powers.
fair.
But it's so.
I will pass this information along to Anna quietly.
Sure. I will look up within me whether there's information on how one might banish a Baku or many, many Bakus.
Okay. Are you also using the database or using your own?
I will use. I will certainly. This is real. I'll use both.
Yeah,
I feel like given that it's folklore, it would probably show up in your flesh bag database.
It sure probably would. I did absorb an entire Mystic library.
Oh God,
Indeed.
Anna's got a Palm Pilot. Scrolling books through on the hand there.
I have a hand brain.
Keep scrolling through books until you find the right one.
Okay. So what role are you going to call for there?
Okay, so you're looking for a spell to banish Baku.
Yes.
All right, that would. Jesus Christ, you got a D12 from Mystic Arts. That would be a Mystic Arts roll if you're searching through your own skin.
Yep. So Mystic Arts plus Clever.
Shay, the ones you saw weren't super big.
Yeah.
But there's in the Brotherhood database, it looks like they come in a variety of sizes.
And still Clever. Sure. So that's an 18.
Okay. So that's a succeed with style. Let me think. What do you? You get some like there's definitely a spell for banishing like a Baku. Because usually they only bother people in one at a time, and it's kind of like a haunting. It's still unclear, like between that and the Brotherhood database, your succeed with style. It's like, so is it a spirit that corporealized, that makes itself a corporeal shape, or is it invisible corporeal? It's unclear. They're weird little animals that don't usually cause trouble, so no one's really thought to study them that much. But yeah,
Right.
there is a ritual that you find, again from a mystic of Japanese or heritage. That is like, here's how you get a Baku out of a kid's bedroom because they're annoying.
All right. We're going to, we should do some more research. I pull out a notebook and I start hurriedly writing in the notebook. It's going to take me a while to scale this up. So I'm just going to try to spend some time.
Or we could just improvise. But...
With you got to succeed with style. So, Shay, you did tell them about the magic lady?
I was about to. I was gonna say, like, okay, before you get too far into writing up a spell, I do believe I found the original spellcaster who summoned these things. She's currently in the office of the head of this thing. It was Dr. Wood.
Yeah, Dr. Ira Wood.
Okay.
Are you gonna
Anna, with that knowledge, it's possible that like, you don't really summon a Baku. They just sort of show up because they're kind of opportunistic little animal critters. No one hunts them like Pokemon.
I will feel like she definitely did some
Yeah.
ritual to
So, and they don't, but also
get these things to calm.
they don't usually stick around for a long time, especially not in mass. Like this situation between the database and your skin is a little like this is a little weird to deal with. Like it's yeah. However, if someone has specifically summoned a ton of them to get them to stay here, there might be an ongoing ritual or enchantment happening. If you can
Right.
if you can find it, you can shut it down or reverse engineer it or reverse the polarity, etc.
What I have to suggest on finding a ritual like that
Well,
is
the old lady ghost did suggest that this lady has her own broom closet.
that is true.
Yeah.
So weird, and now people just walk past it like it's not even there, and only she uses it. And, well, if you said she's magic, then that would explain it.
Yeah, have you been in there recently?
I haven't thought to look, but I mean, we can check now. Nothing's going to stop us.
Sure, let's
Can you show
go.
us where it is?
Sure, it's this way, and she just sort of floats.
And,
Little old lady in her Edwardian nightgown.
Yeah.
All right, the whole parade starts because Rian's gonna follow Anna with the wheelchair,
Uh-huh.
unless Shade's gonna recorporate. I don't know.
No,
Are you
not
gonna
yet. I'm staying this way until I'm certain that I don't need to possess someone.
There.
Sometimes you just gotta possess people.
See, I was considering just possessing one of them right then and there in the office, and then I was like, okay, but I don't know which of them it would be more beneficial to possess.
All right.
Because he has the motive, but she has the means. And she would be harder to possess, but also harder to convince to get rid of it. But, you know, if we can find and stop her ritual without her even knowing that we're there, then...
Maybe.
Okay, yeah, the ghost takes you right there to her broom closet. It is locked, but just like a normal, mundane key lock.
Can Rian see this closet?
Yeah, it's a real closet.
It doesn't have a
think
warn
it's-
away spell or anything.
More like
Oh,
people just kind of ignore it.
Yeah, you do get, so Rianne, you do get a weird sense of looking at this closet the way people look at you and don't really, you're looking at it and you don't really see it. So with that insight, I'll just say you can see it along with the two other magic users,
Fair enough.
or one of whom is dead. So, yeah, Anna, you also get that kind of feeling of looking at the closet the way you look at Rian, and just sort of like your eyes just sort of slide off it. Shay, you can see the aura of magic, but it doesn't affect you because you're dead.
Yeah.
If you possess someone for a second time, does that make you a repo person?
Don't get it.
Either.
It's not smart, but we're going towards the end of the game anyway, so
Yeah,
I'm gonna
so-
push up against the spell to warn away, and because I'm stronger than it, and I'm gonna try to
Well,
break it.
Well, the spell isn't what keep. Well, you're not sure if the spell is keeping the door closed or just the lock.
Oh yeah, no,
I'm
this
gonna
is more of
cover
a.
up the lock open here. I'm gonna quickly go pick the lock here, real quick. So that and that becomes
What are you rolling to pick the lock?
clever covert ops. So 2d10, which comes out to 11.
11. Yeah, that's enough. This is just a standard industrial lock on a broom closet. They save the fancy locks for things like medicine and narcotics. It's a hospital.
It takes me longer to pick my teeth than it takes me to pick this lock.
Yeah. So you maybe don't do it as quickly as if you were able to look at it normally, but you do it. And opening the door, there's broom closet janitorial stuff in there, but also a little mini altar with candles encased in little glass globes and a little coin that has a little Baku engraved on it.
Witchcraft.
Very witchcrafty. Definitely offerings of rice and water. And a little stick of incense that seems to just be permanently going for incense. It's interesting. And it's this little hand carved little wooden table altar thingy and an altar cloth that is very elaborately embroidered. If anyone wants to make me mystic arts roll to analyze this
Sure.
clue
Yeah.
for more clues.
Not Brienne.
Not Rian. Rian's like just. What is Rian doing while watching the body? Okay, she got a 10.
No,
this
I think the
overcome
lock
or,
open, so I went inside, and I am inspecting the place for other things.
This is an overcome because it's basically a cult check.
19.
So we'll just say that with a 10, like, this looks kind of Celtic. This looks like Celtic witchcraft to Shay. Anna Eng, with a 19, these people you've probably had to deal with these assholes directly on a few occasions, because you are kind of the thing that they hunt for, so to speak.
I'm also very much an anti-mage specialist. So
These are definitely mages. So I'm gonna mangle the name of this organization because it's very Welsh.
Oh.
Oh.
Murdrin.
Ah,
This is
I had
definitely-
somebody.
I
I had
believe
somebody
it's just
from Wales
pronounced
correct me on
Mirden, but I
that when I
don't know
ran
the
that on
first word.
When you're both talking at the same time, I can't understand either of you.
Apologies.
So
Merc, go.
I actually had an actual Welsh person play the Omicron game that had this faction in it, and they pronounced, I think, Kelch Murden, but I could be wrong.
we'll go with that. Kelchmurden. That's fine. Actual Welsh speakers, I apologize in advance, but I used to be able to pronounce Welsh, but it was already difficult to do, and now it's 20 years later and I have brain fog problems. But your language is
Yeah.
beautiful when pronounced by someone who knows what they're doing. That is not me. But yeah, so this is, Anna, what you know about these assholes is that they're kind of like Leverage, but mages. You know Leverage? The TV
yes,
series?
I know Leverage. So so normally they're mages who are trying to do a good thing, or is this their mage thief?
Well, they're mage
They're thieves.
thieves. So maybe more like Ocean's 11 with mages.
They're
However, they think it's a good thing to wake up, what was it
Merlin.
Merlin,
Merlin.
basically. They use his more complicated
what a
Welsh name.
scumbag.
But they're basically the followers of Merlin. They're a cult that worships Merlin or really, really likes him and is trying to wake him up from his eternal slumber that was put on him by Nimue or Nimue,
I think
or however you say
the
it.
thing is that they know where he is, but
They know where
and
he is.
may even
but
be
he's asleep.
awake, but they can't break the lock on his door because it's meant to only open for the Lady of the Lake.
The way it is described in here is that it could be that they're trying to wake him up. It's unclear, but what they're doing to do it is steal lots of artifacts. And they've hit the warehouse a few times and been deflected. But sleeping god mage. And as Anna, as you look at that, you see some other kind of pieces in the the closet that aren't on the altar yet, like they aren't used in ritual, but you definitely see a Greek like a miniature statue of a Greek god called Hypnos, who is the Greek god of sleep.
Is this a good time to produce this?
I can't read it. I see it's an
Can you put it a little
action card.
closer? Dream thief.
So yeah, it looks like, so while it is this is a Japanese folk spirit creature thingy, this Celtic witch is trying to connect it to a Greek god of sleep. Something inevitably, typically to do with waking up a Celtic mage god. God mage.
Right.
Something.
Does it look like the anchors for her spell are stored here, or that it's somewhere else, like say in the office?
All of the spell anchors are definitely here.
All right.
Like all the magic, and plus more magical supplies, and brooms and mops and janitorial supplies. But also, she set up her little altar here.
So wait, was this the room that they did the ritual in and also sex? Because that's
Maybe.
gross.
Probably.
What?
I wouldn't think too hard on it if I were you.
I'm trying not to.
Let's just destroy the altar. Can we just destroy the altar, or do we have to dismantle it?
I would suggest dismantling it, but I can't hear you.
Anna, with that ridiculous roll, just busting up a magic altar while it's active is generally not a good idea. Because then you'll all be discorporated, and then that'll get awkward. Maybe.
Yeah, we're gonna have to take this apart. Probably reverse the
For-
spell in the order it was
For
constructed.
Rian, discorporation means dead.
I will
Since it
thank
is
the
10
ghost
p.m.,
lady.
we will just say that what I planned, and that the lady whose closet this is did not have a alarm spell on it. So she does not come up and attack you from
She
behind.
didn't
It's
think
10
there was
p.m.
anyone else in this hospital capable of magic.
So, chat, this often happens when I create a new Demon Hunters module, and why I need to playtest them before running them at cons, because I forget how long things take. But I know for a fact combat will take more than 5 minutes, so we'll just...
I'm not actually sure that's true. Have you looked at Anna's sheet?
Yeah, but you haven't looked at the NPC's sheet.
Power beyond limit. Because there may not be a limit to my abilities. Once per session, I can choose to turn every die value in an opponent's roll to a 1.
Okay, let me look at,
I was just gonna say that
I mean, I'm definitely looking for people coming down to get us because
what page?
I can't do anything with this magic shit. So I'm on lookout duty at this point, basically.
Okay. Give me a covert ops roll.
Okay. Cleverly or quickly? All right. So that is a 16.
Okay. I'll say, well, this is happening in the broom closet. No one is bothering you because you look trustworthy.
you seem trustworthy.
I have one of those faces.
Would you like to join us on another quest? Alright, so, Anna and Shay, you still do not have a physical body.
Yeah.
Would you like to try and dismantle this altar? Because
Yeah.
Anna, with your high roll from before, you're pretty sure that if you just dismantle this spell is both summoning them and multiplying them and keeping them here. So you don't necessarily have to exterminate them. You just, let them go and they'll leave.
Yep.
And if that doesn't work, you can probably figure out, reverse engineer this to exterminate them, but you can also just let them go.
I'm gonna thank the ghost lady.
Yeah, you still don't know her name.
I do not. I'm also going to ask for her name because she's been helpful and I would like to remember.
Oh, I'm Evelyn Tillman. I died here during the first flu epidemic.
Oh.
And I've been stuck here ever since. Are you all ghost hunters or
Demon hunters, but yeah, something like that.
Haven't had anything like that in quite a while.
Brotherhood of the Celestial Torch.
We have a fairly broad portfolio.
I mean, I've got nothing else to do with eternity.
We could use more people looking
Interested
out for
in
trouble.
joining.
Well,
We could use an informant in this hospital.
Well, I'm very good at informing because I meddle. Why not? Well, what else?
What else is there to do?
So yes. So what do you want to roll to dismantle this ritual?
Sure. Shay, do you want to lead this one, or should I do it?
Shay doesn't
I
have
think
a body.
I don't have a body at the moment. I could
Oh, that's fair.
He's in the closet in a wheelchair.
but, you're also far more aware of this ritual specifically than I think I am.
Sure. So I'm going to. This is going to be a clever and mystic arts roll to dismantle the ritual. I'm also going to pull in the LMM ZCZ because that's obviously related. I'm not going to get another chance if this works.
Yeah.
I'll also pull in and invoke from the spell to banish Baku because that means I know something about this kind of ritual.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll also pull in from my supply list.
Okay, and you can pull from both Anna and Shay has one more.
Fair. As long as you don't mind.
Go for it.
Okay.
It's in that jacket pocket there.
Great. Sure. So my initial roll includes 1-1, but also is a 31.
Yeah, there you go.
Physics be damn.
Physics be fucked.
So Shay, you're still in Discorporated. So what you see is Anna is kind of like, doing motions, shutting things down, putting out candles, stubbing out the incense, and kind of in that, circular Celtic witchery goes in a particular order, and wrapping up the tablecloth and all the things. And then she kind of finishes and kind of takes a moment to kind of sigh and rebalance. And Shay, you hear like this kind of like not like a stampede, but like a whole bunch of small footfalls. As
they're leaving.
Kind of just like a whole bunch of oversized guinea pigs that look like elephants. Oh, they're capybara sized.
Yeah.
Capybara-sized elephants trunking through, and you can see them. And there's so many of them leaving that Ren and Anna, you can kind of get a sense of like that kind of low, not even a rumble, but just like a pitter patter of wide little feet. Like a bunch of capybara are just leaving, and you're not sure where they're going. Maybe, like...
Presumably to eat natural dreams.
Yeah, they're just sort of like, oh, we're done with this place. Do.
I'm so bored of these white walls. Sayonara to this boring hospital decor.
Sayonara, back to Koreatown and Chinatown. No.
What's going on? It feels like a herd of elements stamped through.
That would be exactly what it is. They all realize that they don't have to stay here because you succeeded at dismantling the ritual.
This is one way the ritual could have gone, I think. And so Shay, what you see that Anna cannot, is that one has kind of like seen you guys and is kind of just like sitting behind Anna. Like a cat, like just not looking angry, just like kind of curious and like sniffing and
Little elephant nose.
Little elephant nose. It's just like Anna might have a new friend. If only she could see it. And it's just like, huh? Yeah, exactly like a cat that wants to follow her home.
I'm gonna see, like, reach out and see if I can, like, pet the thing.
You cannot because you are a ghost.
I mean, yeah, but like,
you can see that it can kind of see you and is also kind of curiously regarding you. The little
let it sniff my hand a little bit. I'm gonna like, wave my hand at Anna and be like, "You've got a friend."
I don't think tapir really make that sound, but it's not a tapir, it's a Baku.
It can make whatever sound you imagine it to make.
There you go.
Somewhere between an elephant and a cat. Yep. This is my game. My game, my rules.
It's a cross between an elephant and a cat.
Lisa in on the chorus. Lisa not appearing in this film. Yeah,
so I will obviously work out whatever details need to be worked out to set up Evelyn as an informant.
You call it into Fran, or someone calls it into Fran that has a body.
I can't.
Yeah, Shay, at what point do you take your body back?
Once I'm sure that I don't need to be a ghost anymore. Before we leave the supply closet, after I'm done talking to Evelyn.
Yeah, after the Baku stampede, not even stampede, the Baku shuffle. Shuffling Baku.
So when we look around for the janitor, is she gone at this point because she noticed her spell being unraveled?
You certainly don't find her anywhere.
Yep.
Thieves don't necessarily want to fight Brotherhood members.
Nope. That's a bad plan.
Especially if they've failed already. It's like,
Yeah.
But yeah, and after the Baku shuffle, you definitely hear kind of like, not alarms, but like beeping noises, like as if someone has woken up and is gonna beep, and like a bunch of people are waking up and someone rushes out of the sleep. People who are in the sleeping people room working on stuff rush back out and excitedly talk about it. Everyone rushes back in, and there's a lot of excitement and more doctors and nurses coming in to attend to everyone who is waking up, and they're waking up all over the hospital very clearly. You don't need to be on any kind of PA system to figure that out.
And now I can
return to my generic Brotherhood
bag.
Okay, is there anything else you look for or do before leaving the hospital?
I'm going to try and look for, in my generic Brotherhood outfit self, I look vaguely governmental, so I would like to try and find the janitor's locker and see if I can find some ID.
Yeah, I think you can do that pretty easily. No one's paying attention to you at this point. Because a major catastrophe has just ended.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you can easily, she's got some of her personal items actually in this broom closet, and you can also find her locker. She was going by the name Cher Blood, and it looks like she's been working here for maybe a few months. So this was a long grift for her.
Fair. I'm going to send her description and information back to Fran, so she knows to be on the lookout in the future.
Yeah, there's an ID photo, or there's a copy of her ID with a photo on it and stuff like that. And after a few minutes, Fran kind of texts you back on the Cypher app, and she is definitely one of Brotherhood's most wanted from that Merlin cults, and her name is also weird and in Welsh, so like Cher Blood. So Cher Blood, and she's known to be a grifter of their Ocean's 11 team, and she's a master of enchantment and mind control. So
yep,
it's
that makes
just
sense.
as well y'all didn't have to deal with her directly.
That's probably good that I didn't try to possess her.
That would have certainly been interesting, but would have taken longer than 10 minutes to
Indeed
figure out. Oh wow, we got through this whole thing without going into combat rounds. Did y'all have fun anyway?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a
Yay!
good time.
I honestly prefer games without combat most of the time.
I had too much fun with the sight gags.
Yeah, it was very good.
I mean, I like combat because combat is interaction, but we had the interaction with the ghost, which is better.
Yeah.
And
And now the Brotherhood has an informant in the hospital.
nosy ghost.
Depending on how far closely she's linked to the hospital, as opposed to being able to move around.
I mean, yeah, but we have ways of speaking to spirits, so
Oh, yeah.
like
Oh no, she's definitely an informant. It's possible
Yeah.
that she can inform about the area beyond the hospital. I don't know if she's
Yeah.
locked into that area. We didn't have
well,
time to.
and if nothing else, she can see out the windows. Presumably, the
personal
hospital
question.
grounds are a thing.
And I'm sure the local chapter will like the fact this one probably doesn't have to be paid much.
Yeah.
All the hot goss. That's all she wants.
Come have tea with her when I'm, in town. Not really tea,
For
because
some
we're
reason,
ghosts. We can have
envisioning
imaginary
one of
tea,
the
though.
Gold Girls.
And I
Really
think
much-
Shay and Anna became friends on this.
Yeah.
Kind of neat.
Yeah, stay in touch.
Yeah.
You
Be
know, yes, someone to
sorcery
watch.
study buddies.
Body watching friends.
I don't talk about magic with other people my age very often.
Yeah.
It's hard
You
to be a
also
student
happen-
and a mage.
Both of your characters kind of happened into magic completely by accident.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh well, sort of. Anna was
You were a
studying magic,
major in-
and then
And someone decided, hey, that makes her a great occult sacrifice. Nothing could possibly go wrong with that. And no. Bad frat boys. Frat boys should not be allowed to do magic. I think it was frat boys.
basically it was like it was a secret society. It was like a dark frat.
the Dark Rat.
Sorry, Skull and Bones. You don't know what you're
Dark
dealing with.
Dungeon or whatever.
You
Every
never let
detail
women
about
in.
Anna just makes it very amusing that I have come up with Shay, because I made this character before I knew what Demon Hunters was. I built the character sheet off of a short film that I made in my freshman year before I knew Demon Hunters, and her roommate got turned into a vampire by sorority. We love Victoria. Actually, we really don't. She was based off of bad freshman year roommate, but her most iconic line in the short film is, "This is worse than the time I downed 7 Four Locos at that frat guy's party."
Yeah, Rien was a role on the random Demon Hunters character generation tables.
Oh wow.
And if I can just stop throwing my dice on the floor. Yeah, and all this is well, there's this pretty version of the book, which I use the randomized 5 minutes to madness tables to roll up this adventure and fill in some gaps. And a far less expensive version of it is available on Drive-Thru RPG. And it's not dead.market anymore. What is it?
No, it
The Fantasy
is.
Network?
Yeah, it's the Fantasy Network. We're on Gumroad. I can't remember. Let me see if I can find.
Yeah, all the Zoe and Dead Gentleman things are kind of getting umbrellaed under the Fantasy Network stuff. So if there are still copies of this, of this hardcover version, you'll probably be able to find them through that somehow. Google it. You're internet people. You can do your own Googling. And maybe if I find it, I can put a link on Twitter.
Yeah.
But yeah, very fun game developed by game makers and improv people, and very good for yes and randomized character generation and plot generation, and
And creating your own problems.
creating your own problems. Yes, and your ritual went so well, you're dead again.
Which was low-key going to be my plan the whole time. You know how much, knowledge you can gain just by wandering around as a ghost?
I mean, it was a good way of. I mean, we had the problem that it wasn't really a problem that we're not playing the same character. We're playing the same archetype.
Yeah.
But you wandering out a ghost makes it actually a slightly different archetype.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Shay's a necromancer. Stumbled into dark arts specifically because died of a caffeine overdose and got resurrected by the vampire roommate.
Who was
That's-
hungover.
Yeah.
It was a day.
Yeah.
So, I guess that's it for our game today. Well done, Demon Hunters. You saved the day and managed to not have to fight an annoying sex mage.
This
Or
is good.
sexy mage, I guess. She's great.
This is very good.
So, outro, hello, I've been the GM, or Demon Master, I guess it is in this system.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
But I just like GM because I know too many systems now, and there's too many words for person that runs the game, so GM is just fine. And universal. You can find me on Twitter at Ms. Chrysala, and linked on our Twitch front page is our YouTube channel, and Twitter for Magic Fish Radio. Podcasts soon, if I can get my shit together. It's funny. It's so fun when the side project launches before the actual project. But yeah, I love this side project. It's good. But yeah, so follow me, follow us, and that's me. Brienne, who is you?
I'm Merc. I played Brienne today. They of the No Face. And yeah, don't find me on social medias because I'm not really there much. But watch Masters of the Metaverse on Mondays on the Zombie Warriors Twitch channel because it's really cool. I endorse it.
Woohoo! Anna Ang, who is you? Since everyone's all shuffled around from the beginning. Keeps it interesting. Thanks, Zoom. Anna Ang, who is
Oh,
you?
Anna, yeah, sorry. Anna, you are in fact doing it in that order. So I'm Josh. I was playing Anna. You can find me on the internet at various places as Neme. That's Mneme, because I'm weird. And I do various things, including music. I'm not a hugely prolific streamer or anything, but you know, if you follow my YouTube, you'll probably see something interesting eventually.
And now he is going to be one of our regular players in Exit to Eden. A couple of our cast members had to leave very suddenly. So, hence, I wanted to do Demon Hunters today, because I was a little overwhelmed. So yeah, we're still looking to expand the luckily we were already looking to expand the cast. So, phew. Poor cast members. Yeah, you know, things happen. Yeah, we are kind of in the middle of an apocalypse, and, you know, it's... People gotta
Life
take care of
pulls
them.
bullshit.
Life pulls bullshit. So much bullshit. Speaking of which, Shay, who is you today?
Hi, I'm Dracus, playing Shay. You can find me on social media as Actual Dracus. I put in chat that I have a script that I'm working on that's about Shay and their college friends. So I guess keep an ear out for that happening at some point in the hopefully near future. I also stream D&D sometimes, and I'm trying to figure out how to plan that my last session of a 2-year-long campaign. So, you know, keep an eye out for that as well.
Okay. So, thank you again, chat, for chatting with us. Someday we'll hit affiliate. I'm not in a big rush, because there's really no monetary reason I'm doing this, but, like, then every time we want to add an app, we can't because we're not affiliate. So, yeah, because I would love to be able to use channel points, which we can't have, to do free audience buy-ins into the story for character drops and re-rolls and such, but we can't do that until we're affiliate. So please tell your friends to follow us and watch us on Saturday nights, or watch the VODs. But yeah, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you for watching. Thank you for chatting, and tell your friends. And if the real world is throwing too much bullshit at you, know that Saturday nights at 7 p.m. you can come hang out with us and watch us be silly as supernatural creatures on the internet every Saturday night. So, okay. So, raids. Who can we raid? And I've already forgotten how to do that. Bring up Twitch TV and see who's on.
There's the Dice Cult is doing more Call of Cthulhu. The Stacy Roy is doing food and drink, which I think she's actually a drink mixing channel, bartender. But there's a couple of others, but basically go /raid and then the channel name that you want to raid, but like it has to be in the same capitals as the channel name. So I don't know.
Okay, I've got 2 goth DJs.
That'll work.
And we'll go with one who's okay. So, DJ Mojito.
Welcome to the 178th.
And an ad, of course. But we'll just okay. So, tell me again what the command is, because I'm a Luddite.
/raid and then the channel name. It's /raid space the channel name, but it has to match the capitalization to the channel name.
Yes, I just copy pasted it because yes. All right, so thanks for coming, and now listen to some fun music from a DJ that I discovered through Twitch when the apocalypse happened, and all the gothic industrial DJs ended up on Twitch, and I kind of like this part of the apocalypse. Because I was too chronic fatigue syndrome-y to go to clubs anymore, and now I can have club time in my home. But yeah, good night, everyone. Hope your Saturday is fun and nice, and bye. Oh, it's a countdown. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now go bother people. Go raid. Yay!
Okay.
And I think.
Oof.
Yep.
Shit.